Like, I'm just so used to just smoking after work that it's like I feel agitated if I don't. But that did not much to me.
Yeah, is this the beginning of the episode?
This is the beginning of the episode.
Nice, episode 4!
Legalized meth.
Episode 4 of the Mitchell Squared podcast. What can I say? We are consistent.
We are.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man.
Yeah.
I realized that this is like every Sunday. This is kind of like our version of church, except for Jay. You go to church, Jay?
I haven't gone to church since COVID.
Wow, COVID ruined church. Yeah, this is kind of like church, bro. But this is like what I like about us doing this on Sunday evenings. It sets us up for a guaranteed hang every week.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I like that too. What I don't.
That's
like,
a good excuse.
I didn't realize this until after I got it. I just tried this Tim's IPA last week, and I had
What is it?
Tim's IPA from Big
Spruce.
And it
Timothy Gray.
I don't know if it is the reason that my stomach was like the most fucked up it's ever been since I had like stomach flu when I was like 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the test. This is the second test. So if my stomach's fucked up tomorrow, it's on you, Big Spruce.
Big Spruce, what are you doing to my boy? Where's Big Spruce from? Let's shout him out.
Where?
Nyanza, like
Where's that up?
just outside Bedeck.
Really?
Yeah, they were the
Oh,
first.
yeah, I knew that.
They were the first brewery in Cape
Didn't
Breton.
they get
yeah.
canceled?
Wow.
Well, they had a whole. They've had a couple whole
Sponsor us.
things.
I don't know, something to do with like police and shit.
Oh, right. Just it was an insensitive time for them to show some support to the police or something like that. Is that what
I think
happened?
he just put out something in the press and he like misworded it and made it sound like he hated the cops.
People make mistakes, man.
That was at the same time that we were in,
Oh, it was a
we were
hate
on
the
that
police kind of thing.
vacation, and there was like my uncle being one of them, but there was like a bunch of police camping at that campground, and there was like the fucking police flags everywhere, and it was just like
Right.
seemed like a big statement.
Felt like we were in the United States of America.
Yeah, it was strange.
Yeah,
It was
but
like
really we were in Inverness.
a bunch of cops drunk on the beach.
Yep.
I
So-
still felt sketchy about smoking weed around them, even though it was legal. I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah, weed's been legal for a hot minute here. Jason, how you doing over there, man? People were really excited about you last week. I think your hive is growing.
I think people need hobbies.
The JB Hive.
It's crazy because people don't really know what you look like.
I like
just
that.
watching these clips. Oh, you were in the last thumbnail, I guess. But
Yeah, but I like being like the Wizard of Oz, like pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
that's facts. Well, you're talking about throwing up and not feeling well and your stomach hurting.
I was pooping, bro.
Well, I got something here today, episode 4, where we're going to be delivering the heat, and I can guarantee later this evening, we're all going to be hitting the bathroom, taking a shit, and feeling like we're about to throw up. Because earlier this week, I got some Mad Dog hot sauce. We can see this on the screen, right? It's positioned nicely.
Yeah, there you go.
This is the second last hot sauce that they use in the first couple seasons on Hot Ones. And it's 357,000 Scoville Units. The sauce that will blow you away. That's what it says on the bottle. And there's even like a disclaimer on the side is like a legal agreement that basically on the side of it, it says, I agree as indicated by my opening of this bottle as follows in connection with my purchase of this product. This product is extremely hot. You should use it with extreme care. This product is to be used at my own risk, and I fully understand the potential danger if used or handled improperly. If I give this product as a gift, I will make the recipient fully aware of the potential danger if used or handled improperly. And it's like, I hereby disclaim, release, and relinquish any and all claims, actions, and lawsuits that I or any of my dependents here as family members, blah, 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 blah. I am not inebriated or otherwise not of a sound mind, and I'm fully able to make a sound decision about the purchase of this product. And I can't pronounce that word, but
That word means you're drunk.
I'm in
Oh, really? Is that what that means?
Inebriated. Well, means you're basically like under the
Inebriated.
influence of something.
I've heard that word.
Like if you're like really
spoken
drunk or really high, you're inebriated.
I don't think you're
words in my
inebriated
vocabulary.
really high.
But Mitch got some wings, some leftover wings from the Bid and Moon, and he just got off. I told him get some food. If he could swag some, if he can finesse some, the wings are here.
We got the nubbies. Also, oh yeah.
We're gonna eat it at the end of the episode. We're gonna dip it in.
But in here, I also took our 3rd degree sauce, which I consider really hot. I don't know about you, Jay,
Brother.
but this stuff.
Yeah, I like that as like a hot sauce. If that was in my fridge, it wouldn't be the hottest thing in my fridge, but it's a good
It's
sauce.
pretty hot. It's pretty hot.
Do you want to give it a little dab right
give it
now
a
and just
little
see what
lick.
we?
I find this quite hot, but everybody else disagrees with me.
Oh, bro.
It's got some heat for
that
sure.
isn't-
But I feel
It
like
definitely
that's
got some spice.
I think that's the like
That's
if you
like-
go to a restaurant around here and you ask for a hot sauce,
Yeah.
that's the hottest hot sauce you'll get.
For
I think.
real?
I feel like
Yeah.
that's slightly
Wait.
unreasonably hot.
Is this one
You
of
know
the
what I mean?
hottest things you've
Yeah.
ever tried?
No, fuck no.
You've tried some spicy
Dude, I
shit,
ate that
right?
death chip. Like the one that comes in a coffin. I had that before. It
The
was-
one that shout out to Biff Dominion. Is he the guy, like the one that he uses in that one chunk challenge? Because after I posted the video of me trying this and dipping a chicken wing in it, he commented and he was like, "Come do the one chunk challenge." So I went on his Instagram and I watched one of the videos that he did, and it looked like it was like a chip, and it was just like I'm thinking that's what it was.
I was like
ate it and then
15. And my
started
sister
puking.
had it. It was a single chip that was like inside of a plastic bag that came inside of a cardboard coffin. I don't know what it was called, like a death chip or something like that. And I literally drank an entire gallon of milk.
Yeah.
Just
Did
sitting
you
there.
get sick?
I just wanted to die. So
Because he did it in that video. And he had Cordell on it, and he puked. That's the one
Cordell
I
puked?
watched. Yeah.
This was
Shout out to
definitely enough
Cordell.
to make you puke. But I did not. But it was like easily 45 minutes of me just
Yeah.
wishing my existence.
Okay,
away.
so that might be worse than this. This is still pretty bad, but it kind of the pain ends after about 5 minutes, and it's not even really necessarily pain. It's just kind of if you set your expectations really high that this is going to be like the hottest thing you've ever had, when you try it, your expectations will be matched, but they're not. It's not going to exceed your expectations, but depends on what your expectations are. Set them high.
This is the thing. I'm worried
that shit's
because
hot.
you know, because you tried it the other day.
I know.
You posted that on Instagram. I was like, fuck you.
Oh,
Because I'm the one that doesn't know what this is going to be like. Are you going to try this with us, Jay?
Oh yeah, I'm trying it.
it's
I'm
fine.
just like-
Honestly, after like 10 minutes, you'll be okay. But it is like it kind of hits you like when you get a vaccine, when you get a needle, and it's like, oh, that's not too bad, and then it goes in a little bit too far, and you're like, fuck, that was kind of uncomfortable. It does that. It's like, oh shit, yeah. But you know what's crazy too? After I tried it the first time, about 10, 15 minutes later, because we made a bunch of wings, I went back in, dipped it a second time. And I was kind of having some fun with it. Every like 5 minutes, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it again. It's not like one of those, but I did it about 4 or 5 times. Then I tried it. I did it again later that night. Just it was like a weird adrenaline rush. I was getting some kind of satisfaction out of it. Like, oh my God, like I'm capable of sustaining a somewhat of a tolerance to like extremely spicy shit. Like I was like, maybe this is my new superpower. And, but, yeah, but it made me yeah. So what were we gonna say?
There's a documentary on or like documentary show or something like that on Netflix. I don't know if it's still on there. It's called like Champions or something like that. Did you see that?
No, I don't think.
Really? Oh, you gotta watch it after this. You think this is hot and they can eat hot shit? Like there's a pepper eating contest episode, and like there's this one guy that just doesn't feel anything at all.
Yeah.
Like there's a fucking video of him on, I don't know what is it, Scotch bonnets or something. He's just eating
Yeah.
a bag of them. Like
I have
he's like,
He ate a Carolina Reaper and he was just like straight faced, like it was
That's
nothing.
wild,
yeah,
Just
dude,
like,
the
what?
guy's, yeah, it's fucked up. But just like the guy who's like, so they have a pepper eating contest, and it's like all the hottest peppers that you've ever heard of, and then the guy running it or putting it on or whatever also has like genetically engineered these peppers that are like 14 times, 20 times hotter than like the hottest pepper that's like actually on the market. Like he's just got all these like original peppers, so he starts feeding them to them, and it's painful to watch how like these guys go into a really.
Was this guy on Hot Ones? Someone was telling me the other day that there was a guy like this who was on Hot Ones, and he like keeps, who was this that told me this, but he keeps like a briefcase on him at all times that have like the newly developed hottest pepper in the world. If he like needs to break it out,
he kind of like an old guy? Does he look like a?
I've never
like
seen the
older
video or
redneck
anything,
version of Dad?
This dude that makes the peppers, like he made the Carolina Reaper and he like he uses cross genetics and he takes different peppers and he makes his own peppers.
Yeah.
And he made the Carolina Reaper, which is like the hottest pepper that's been tested. But he also has a bunch of peppers that are hotter than the Carolina Reaper that you can't get on the market yet. They haven't been tested. Like, you don't know how hot they are. And
well,
how's
what
it going,
happened
Wheezy?
too, man? after I did that, like there was the last time I tried this, like in that night where I dabbled in it a couple times. I put my finger, I just put it on a spoon and I just put my finger in it and I just had a taste and I was like, whoo, like there we go, I'm back in the game. And about a half hour later, I forgot that I tried it by dipping my finger in the hot sauce and my eye was itchy.
Oh no!
And I rubbed my eye. Way worse than tasting it.
Dude,
it was fucking. I thought I was gonna go blind, bro. I was like, I'm gonna have to go to the hospital. This is it. This is crazy.
That's what they say on Hot Ones. It's always like you don't touch anything
touch your
afterwards.
eyes. Yeah, this is and this is like, and it's crazy because watching Hot Ones, watching the interviews, I always was like, man, I think I could handle it to a degree, and I know it's just kind of like very rewarding and fulfilling once we try this, and you're like, you know what?
I
up
feel
there
like
with the best.
it's a mental barrier that you got to get past for sure, but
Yeah,
it
it's a
does
mental
hurt.
thing.
You know what I
calm
mean?
yourself
Like,
down. Yeah.
like I'm cool. I don't like to eat crazy hot shit. I don't even like to eat that hot sauce. I'm like, not that it's like if I was eating it for a challenge, it's like sure, fine. It's like hot.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not that hot, but it's hot. But like I don't want to sit there and eat my chicken wings coated in that shit.
Yeah, it's
You know
not
what I
something
mean?
you're doing to enjoy. It's like you're testing your mental strength
some
and
people are just
ability to
like-
do it just
They're
out of
trying
curiosity.
to like show you how big their nuts are by fucking eating hot stuff.
Well,
I'm
you
not
know
that
what?
kinda person, I can just show you my nuts.
Yeah, and you got big nuts.
We know from episode 1.
We know from episode 1. If you guys are
I wanna
loyal
get
fans, you know the size of Mitch's nuts. But what I was gonna say is, it's I completely lost my train of thought there.
Well, I have a thought. Did you fucking
yes.
pee after you touched that stuff?
No, but I know that it could burn your pecker for sure.
Well, who was it on Hot Ones? They went to the washroom and then they were like adjusting themselves uncomfortably. They're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I think it was Gordon Ramsay actually.
Oh, really? That's funny. I actually used to have to deal with that on a regular basis working at Boston Pizza because, well, like, if I worked fryer, fucking, what are they called? Cactus cuts or like marinated in jalapeno juice. So like you just wouldn't even be. It doesn't burn your hands, but then you go to take a piss and you're just like, no, you know what I mean? And it's fucking like terrible.
Yeah, oh, that's what I was gonna say. I am not a fan of heights and roller coasters and putting myself in situations where I think I'm gonna die. This is, we talked about this a couple episodes ago. But I feel like this is my one thing that I can be like, oh, I'm crazy. I'll eat hot shit, because it's like all you just gotta put it in your mouth.
I'm an unexciting white guy. I love hot food.
Yeah, I'm not gonna jump off a bridge into water. I'm not gonna jump off a bridge to kill myself. But I will
Eat sauce to
I
kill
will
yourself.
I will eat spicy sauce. And people are like, oh, I'll never try that. I'll do that. So that's my outlet of doing crazy stuff and being extreme. But just wrapping up on this topic here before we try it later. So stay tuned. At the end of the episode, we'll dive into this. But we're hitting the beers early because the burps are coming in. But I did. So what happened was, the night that I tried this and everything, before I went to bed, don't usually do this, but there was a McDonald's craving that was ongoing. So on the way home, I went for a little drive. Me and Lindsay went for a drive. We went through the drive-through McDonald's. I got like a bacon McDouble or whatever, and ate that before I went to bed, and I had a little leftover poutine from the sandbar. So I ate some greasy food before I went to sleep with this already in my system. Sometimes by doing that, I will wake up in the middle of the night and have to poop anyway. But
You're a
this
midnight
was
pooper?
I'm not really a midnight pooper. I'm a midnight pooper if
so
I
not
eat
midnight,
right
but like
before.
middle of the
Not
night.
midnight pooper because I went to bed at probably around midnight. So I'm a midnight sleeper.
Middle of the night pooper.
I'm a middle of the night shitter.
Really?
No,
Oh.
I can be.
From time to time.
I can't. I'm an occasional middle of the night
Pooper.
dump festival attender.
Oh, okay.
But not usually. But if I eat,
typically not, but it's like
it's crazy.
clockwork
It
in the
sucks
morning.
when it happens though, because you wake up and you're like, I'm super tired. Why do I feel like this? I really don't want to get up. Hopefully this pain will just go away so I can go back to sleep. It's only if it's a really aggravating and demanding poop pain. That's like, fine, I'll get up and poop. This is a super inconvenience. But this was definitely correlated with the hot sauce. Probably wouldn't have happened if I only did one dip, but I did about 5 or 6, and then I ate McDonald's before bed. I was just setting myself up for the middle of the night poop. And that poop lasted for about 45 minutes. I was on that toilet, and I was pooping so hard, bro. I thought I was gonna puke. And I was like, I don't get the energy to get the garbage bin. And if I do, I'm gonna be like crawling and like my ass is gonna be in the air and it's gonna be just a really weird scenario. So luckily I didn't have to throw up, but I was pretty close. But it was 100% associated with this bad boy, and I had a mild headache in the morning.
I've never had hot sauce
legit, bro.
fuck up my booty hole.
And it burned. You know when people are like,
Really?
oh, your asshole's gonna be on
Yeah,
fire?
everybody
Asshole
says that.
does
I've
get
never
on fire.
had that in my life.
I occasionally have hot sauce, and
It lights up your ass?
yeah.
I've
Respect.
never experienced that. Last time I drank this, it lit up my ass. I don't know if that's what it was from, but it correlated with the time that I drank this. So.
I'll light up your ass, brother. All right,
Okay.
moving on. So, yeah, stay tuned. Last night, I lost $50 because Ben Askren had me convinced as a professional fighter for his whole career that he could knock out a YouTube star, that he could win the fight. I said, you know what? I've never bet on sports in my life. Pre-COVID, I was thinking about it. Then COVID happened. There wasn't any sports. And then Mitch was like, stocks. And then I got into the Simple game. So that didn't have to happen. But last night, I was like, you know what? I'm pretty confident that Jake Paul shouldn't be able to win this just based off of the fact that Ben Askren has been fighting professional fighters his whole life and winning. Yes, it's boxing. Yes, this is his first boxing match. And Jake Paul, like Jay was saying, he had to gain weight to fight him. So obviously a little bit of his comfort zone. He's retired. He had a hip replacement, didn't he? He had a surgery, whatever. He wasn't in top condition where Jake Paul is probably physically at his prime. And but I still was like, you know what, the odds of him losing are just, it doesn't really make any sense. And he was favored to lose, so you had to bet a lower amount to make, like betting, you could bet a lower amount on Ben to make more money, and or whatever, how that shit works. But so I was like, I'll go with Ben, but he wasn't favored to win, and he lost
How the fuck do I
within
click?
2 minutes. But it felt like 10 seconds. You're on the channel dashboard here. Mitch is out here searching up Ben Askren getting punched.
Well, this is what I was trying to look at.
Break it down, brother.
I feel like Ben Askren having the length of a career, mind you, yes, he's 2 years retired, but
But he still said he was
He's
training
been-
hard and he took it
because
seriously like any other
he
fight.
trains other people. I think
Yeah.
he was bullshitting, but we'll get into that. I want to see Ben Askren get punched in the face by somebody else.
Okay.
Because
Did you see that
that
clip that
seemed
was
like some
circulated on
bullshit.
Twitter after the fight where I just went on Twitter, I just typed in, I was just watching the tweets come in after the fight. Everybody was like just posting these memes and these gifs of like Lil Baby count money and like Floyd Mayweather sitting in front of like a ton of money. He's like Ben Askren after getting that extra pay cut for getting knocked out within the first 2 minutes. And
I messaged this right in the immediately after the fight happened because I noticed some weird shit going on. Okay,
Break it down,
I'll
brother.
just give you my whole fucking conspiracy.
Let's
theory.
go.
I was kind of drunk watching this, and so I tuned in at the beginning of that actual boxing match prior to it.
And you know what's crazy?
That guy with
One
the
of
blue
those
hair?
guys made the most money out of everybody that fought like that whole night. Like made more. Jake Paul would make a shit ton of money because of his cut from the actual pay-per-view subscriptions. But one of those fighters that fought before the main card got paid like $800
Yeah, because
grand.
they're real boxers,
Yeah,
and that was like a
exactly.
big match.
Yeah.
But that ended in such a bullshit. Like, see that shot that he just took right there, and he's laughing at that. Like, he just got cranked with an uppercut. That should have knocked him out.
Yeah.
If that punch that Jake Paul threw knocked him out, that should have knocked him out. That should have knocked him out too.
We're
Like,
just
that was
for people watching, we're watching
that
a
didn't knock
compilation
him out?
video of
Really?
people in the UFC just punching the
Punching
shit
Ben
out of Ben
Askren.
Askren.
I need to say something right now. Every time you get a concussion and you get knocked out, it's
gets-
easier to get a concussion and get knocked out.
Absolutely.
So it's easier to knock Ben Askren out now than it was back then.
But I mean, these are
And that's why that's why the referee called it off allegedly because yes, he got back up and he was willing
He
to continue
wobbled.
fighting,
When-
but they wanted to prevent
When
him
he
from
got
getting a
back up, he
concussion.
did wobble. I don't know if it was
That's
like
a fact.
if
He
it was
did
a
see
diz-
that.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a dizzy wobble. I think it was called early. He wanted to keep fighting. I say he should have kept fighting. He's a professional fighter.
He walked up
He
and
knows the
put
risks.
He put his hands up.
Yeah,
to
he
show
was
him.
ready to go. He was ready to go. I don't know why they called
And
the
it's
fight.
disappointing because they made us wait so long for this, and it was so hyped up for it to end within 2 minutes. It's just like give
Wanna
the
know why
people's
he
money
didn't
worth a
fight?
little bit more.
Because the fucking referee was probably paid just like everybody else.
He
to make
mispronounced
this
his
go a
name at the
certain way.
beginning of the fight. Jake Paul is an investor in these events in the first place. He posted something on Instagram right before we started here. It's a picture of him in his front yard or wherever he is, and he has a bunch of money. When you zoom in on the picture, it's a bunch of ones, but I know Jake Paul's rich, so that aside the fact. And he's like, he's claiming he made $65 million off of this fight because of his cut from the pay-per-view subscriptions. He was like $1.3 million pay-per-view, and they were each $62 each. So I don't know what that multiplies into, and then what percentage he gets.
This all goes back into what I was saying. This whole event, from the point of that second last fight with the two boxers, seemed weird, because out of nowhere, fucking Ninja, YouTube streamer, aka that boxer, fucking takes a dive. Like, he barely got touched. Like, that was a grazing punch. It wasn't even, he didn't get, everybody's like, oh, he got hit in the liver.
It grazed his hip.
YouTube streamer Ninja.
The guy has blue hair.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, he fought?
But no, Buddy literally goes like this, and rubbed him. Like, it didn't even hit him.
Then he got pulled on a stretcher. I kind of tapped.
Yeah, it was bullshit. And he said they got hit in the nuts. It was like, how is that even cool?
It was called a low blow.
Yeah,
and I feel like the stretcher was like, this dude was like, I can't fucking not. I have to full commit. He's I have to get taken out of the stretcher at this point.
Yeah, let's get it here.
He's like, I went full send when he missed me. I got to just commit to this.
Okay, so this happened, right?
Yeah.
That was completely nonsense that happened. And then right after that, I believe, was the Justin Bieber performance, which was great.
I think the Justin Bieber performance was before the second last fight, wasn't it?
No.
It was right before Jake Paul fought?
Before Jake Paul. Okay. It was just a solo performance but what I noticed was at the second last song, Justin Bieber is like, all right, thank you. And then they cut to another performance shot. And then at that point, I was like, okay, so this guy takes a dive, and they just randomly threw in another performance video of Justin Bieber at the end of this. What's that all about? And then I look at my clock, and I'm like, it's bang on right. Like, it was like the timing was weird. Like, it made it go right to 1 o'clock. It made it go exactly to 1 o'clock. And I was like, this whole thing's on a schedule. This isn't,
and it was adhering to the schedule,
a real
too.
Fucking event, because it all ended
when it was
3 minutes to 2.
Yeah.
The whole thing was just scheduled out. It's bullshit. I literally was like sick when I watched that end. I was like, this is completely nonsense, because I know Ben Askren can take that.
You were
shot.
watching wrestling.
That's what I felt. I was like, Triller's Fight Club is going to be WWE meets fucking the shittiest boxing fucking league that exists.
It's genius.
It's celebrity boxing plus WWE. It's genius in a way, but it's not going to attract real fight fans. It's going to be counterproductive on it.
Well, I don't think that this fight was I think as time continues, it might lessen the interest from real fight fans.
If Jake Paul does what he just did again,
yeah,
it's going to be they're going to see a dramatic decrease in the growth.
Well, didn't you see? Well, Dylan Danis, is that his name? Dylan Danis.
Any fighter with integrity, any fighter with integrity would go in there and kick Jake Paul's ass.
Well, that's the thing, is he's a professional boxer, but he's 3-0 knockouts against people who aren't professional boxers, never boxed their whole life.
You just said Jake Paul made $65 million?
He said $75 million generated. I don't know if that is like the overall amount that was generated from the pay-per-view subscriptions and everything else that was associated with it, or that's his cut.
Regardless, he can give Ben Askren a check worth, like, nobody wants to hire Ben Askren to fight. They just don't want to. Ben Askren is not making money from fighting. So
he probably is living relatively comfortable.
He's coaching.
He's doing
kids.
his thing. Exactly.
He's coaching kids right now.
It's a huge payday for him. He said it's the biggest payday of his whole career.
Yeah. So he needs that. You know what I mean? He can retire off that money. Say you got, I don't know what he got, but I had this number in mind.
He got a little over $500,000. Probably some other endorsements and advertising stuff that he whatever did throughout agreeing to do this fight. I would imagine he got upwards of $500,000, $600,000.
Yeah. So
and his name is this did wonders for him as far as just generating a much bigger audience for people that are just interested in him as a human being. Like, he says he has a podcast. I want to listen to his podcast now. I like him I like the way that he thinks.
I don't like it, because I feel like that's shows a real lack of integrity.
No, I don't know if it was on Ben. Ben looked like he wanted to keep fighting. When I was watching that, like, he got hit.
I know that he wanted to keep fighting. He took it because he looked like
that hit. He went down. He looked shocked that he got hit that hard. That's what it was. It wasn't like, it didn't, to me, it didn't so much look as bam, he got hit so hard, like, oh, he got like wobbled.
But this is the biggest moment of Jake Paul's fucking life.
It was
he's desperately seeking validation.
Yeah,
from
I'm
this
not gonna
fighting
say it
community.
would, like that hit would have knocked me out. I'm gonna throw that out there. Like that was a huge hit. But Ben Askren, when he was on the ground, looked more surprised than hurt.
Yeah,
and he got right back up, and he didn't want to finish. But it was the official that waved it off. And he waved it off like, yeah, Ben Askren wobbled. And it looked like that official was like, as soon as I can wave it off, I'm waving it off.
Well, that's the thing. He put his gloves up, and then the official was just like, nope, it's over. It's over.
Bro, that official was like 95.
I know. Yeah, I was
Papa.
Like, why are they all?
Snoop kept calling him Papa.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw Snoop going hard trying to defend.
Did you hear that Snoop or somebody, they said that Ben Askren was built like a bag of milk?
Yeah, that was Snoop, yeah.
And during the fight, too, that's one thing that I think is probably better than the commentators at actual, real, serious sporting events is the commentators they choose for this. I would way prefer to hear Pete Davidson and Snoop Dogg commentate pretty much any sport than the actual knowledgeable commentators because it makes it way more entertaining. When they started fighting, Pete Davidson was like, I wonder if they're going to kiss.
This kind of made me hate Pete Davidson, too.
When he went into both the locker rooms?
Yeah, and I was like, you're kind of a fucking
You know,
douche.
Pete Davidson, and I was saying this to Jay before, Pete Davidson is just a relatable guy. Like, I think that is what his appeal is. Pete Davidson is definitely a harder worker in the entertainment industry than, like, the average creative person, I would say at this point, just because he gets so much opportunities and he does accept and take advantage of them. But I think that if Pete Davidson wasn't put on SNL when he was 19 as a writer and an actor, and he's the youngest person ever be a part of the cast on SNL, maybe he wouldn't have been successful as he is right now. I just think he has some kind of charisma that makes people in that industry gravitate towards him and give him opportunities. And he's just fun. It's almost like some random dude on Twitter just gets thrown into the actual mix and gets the opportunity to host shit and just gets their opinions on like a live reaction. So I think it's interesting to watch Pete Davidson just in these environments and just get more successful and host this shit. And just when they're doing the slap fight and he's just like, he's just a reaction. It's like his reaction is like the average guy's reaction. Like Pete Davidson isn't going to come into this shit trying to be like, I want to be a super non-biased professional host. And that's why they probably get him because he's funny. But yeah, it was funny though when he went into Jake's locker room because I didn't catch that part. I mustn't have been paying attention to him when that was playing. But it's funny he goes into Jake's locker room with Jack Harlow, and Jack Harlow says one thing.
Jack Harlow was like the way he was eyeing everybody in that room. He was like I feel like Jack Harlow.
He was like ready that he was about to fight. Or
yeah,
like,
he was like he seemed like on edge.
Weird,
yeah. Fucking.
He was like, I feel like this is not what I would want before I go out and fight someone. It's people in my room asking questions. And Jake Paul was like, that's fine.
I felt like he looked like he did not like Jake Paul one bit.
And Pete didn't either.
No.
Pete, but it was hilarious because Pete was like, "Oh, Ben Askren's a tool, man. Oh, you're a legit dude, man. I'm betting on you because I lost a bunch of money."
Jake Paul's career is gonna go fucking so steep up, and then he's just gonna hit this wall at some point. He's gonna be rich forever.
Well,
he's gonna hit this
like
point where people are way better than Rich the Kid. But
no, I'm just saying that because he says rich forever. I love Rick Ross too. Shout out Rick Ross.
He's gonna have this moment where the hate overcomes the weird fucking whatever it is that drives people towards him. I don't even get it. I'm probably just too old. But like
he's older than us.
He's older than us, but his fan base is like 12. Yeah. But like, you know what I mean? It's kid. Remember when
he made Snoop Dogg a cool 2 M's?
Remember when we were like, 14 or whatever, and we would go like throw rocks at shit, or like I went to the fucking Tim Hortons.
That's his fan base.
And yeah, that's his fan base.
Yeah.
The people that don't give a fuck
people
about
like Obama.
What? Oh,
Obama, yeah.
I thought you said people like Obama. I was like, whoa.
Obama loves Jake Paul. Obama loves Jake Paul.
Yeah, you think
Obama
he's
is fucking Jake Paul.
But you know what's crazy is because Jake Paul's success comes from YouTube and vlogging, and he pretty much has tossed that whole shit out the window since he started this professional
he probably thinks he can fight.
He has every reason to think that he does, bro. He's making shit ton of money, get a bunch of attention, knocking people out left and right. He needs to fight. That Dylan Dennis, I don't know what his UFC history is like. I literally have no idea. He's the guy he threw the toilet paper at on the back of the truck. Today on Instagram, he was posting all day. Because I think beforehand he was like, whoever wins this fight, I'll fight. And Jake won. He was like, let me knock this cunt out. That's what he said. So I like the confidence. Because I don't think Ben was egging Jake on. I think Ben was picked because he was just willing to do it, get the payday.
Well, like
because
I said,
people
Ben
Jake wanted to
Askren,
fight,
nobody wants
wasn't
to
going
pay
to fight
Ben
him.
Askren to fight.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to do that. Even though it would probably actually be good.
Ben
if he was
Askren's big
really
on.
gonna fight.
You know what's weird? After I watched his post conference or his post fight press conference, and like the first question was a fight related question. The second question was what his thoughts were on some upcoming wrestling match. The third question was what he thinks about Cardano, the cryptocurrency, and then the rest were about the fight. It was like really weird. But did you know that 6ix9ine reached out to Ben before the fight and asked if he could walk him out? And there's a clip on YouTube of him talking to some other dude, and he's like 6ix9ine. He was like 6ix9ine DM'd me and asked me if he wanted me to have him walk me out and perform while I'm coming out. And then the other dude was like, no, you don't want to do that. And he was like, oh, why? Is he like he's like a snitch or something, isn't he? And he was like, oh, he was like, yeah. And he was like, well, he's like, I'm not like a street guy. He was like, well, you can get involved in the streets. And his wife, I think it's his wife there. And she's like, well, we don't want to be involved in the streets at all.
I don't blame you.
And you know what? But that would have been awesome. I love that 6ix9ine because I want to see all
Jake
the
Paul,
trolls
know
fight each other.
Jake Paul needs to have kids because you want to know why fucking Ben Askren did what he did? Because he's got a family and he needed a check.
Yeah.
And he fucking secured
Half
the
a
bag.
mil, bro.
Like think about like when
He took the W.
When
At
I
the
hear
end of the day,
$500,000-$600,000,
you're taking it.
You know what I hear is fucking $4,000 in dividends a month. Or wait, what did I just say? 4,000 is what I meant to say. I can't remember what I just said. Okay, $4,000 dividends a month. You know what I mean? So I'm like, that's your fucking mortgage and a bunch of your bills out of the way, and you can just chill on that money. You know what I mean,
bro?
But when you're Jake Paul and you're just on this fucking trajectory to space, you don't see the brick wall that's coming because you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like.
And that was crazy because I remember at one point Ben was like, I don't want to have to represent the MMA or the
Start
MMA
raw
as a
dogging
whole.
Jake Paul.
He was like, I let down the world. I just love the accountability on Ben's part. He's like, he kind of plays like the Eminem 8 Mile rap battle role at the end of this fight where he's like, oh yeah, I got knocked out by Jake Paul. He said, that's embarrassing. I let the world down, whatever. But he's like, you know what? I'm going back home. I'm going to see my kids. And I'll be there for wrestling practice on Monday, and it was a nice payday. And people were like, well, we hope to see you here again. He's like, I'm not going to be back here again.
Well,
he didn't give a fuck, bro. And he's
did
the
you see that
great
clip
example
too?
of someone who's not letting the internet and people's opinions online affect the way that he views himself at all. And I think
he already had that happen to him plenty of times.
Well,
so.
exactly. So it's cool. Get knocked out by Jake Paul for $500,000, probably plus more, and you're gonna have your audience expand, and way more people are gonna respect you and be interested in you. Then fuck it, man.
Have you ever seen that video of him getting flying knee knocked out?
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the press conference before the fight where Jake has the video of it up and he just plays it over and over? He's like, "This doesn't bother you? Does this bother you at all?" And he's like, "Jake, I've seen that video about 1,000,000 times. No, I'm sorry, man, it does not bother me." And he went on Logan Paul's podcast too, and he's like, "I have a genius IQ" or something like that. And he's kind of like. He's like that annoying kid that always like says that he says shit that thinks it's funny and then he laughs at it in class, like kind of makes no jokes, laughs at it, nobody gets it. But but you know what? I like Ben and I would check out his podcast. And I think at the end of the day, it was it was fun, but I did lose $50, man. So. I saw Academics posted on Instagram. He was like, easiest 10 grand I ever made. Thanks, Jake Paul. And I was like, fuck, man. I should have just knew that. Lindsay was saying this is rigged. She was like, this is rigged the whole time. Jake Paul's going to win.
I knew it was rigged.
Everyone was saying Jake Paul's going to win.
As soon as it happened. Well, actually, no. It wasn't as soon as it happened. It was as soon as Justin Bieber, like they had that extra performance shot of Justin Bieber to kill time. Yeah. I realized that the whole thing was fucked up. Because I saw that fucking guy throw himself out of the fight. And I was like, that's super weird.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, we got to hurry that shit up. Well, it was like first fight.
Sometimes guys want out.
Yeah.
Sometimes guys want out and they'll take their out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's fine. But I thought it was super weird because usually like you got to make it slightly understandable. Yeah. You can't fucking get your armpit grazed and be like, oh, I got hit in the nuts.
Yeah.
You
but it's crazy too, man. It just really, if all that checks out and there was some kind of agenda to this shit, it really shows what the value of money provides to like someone's integrity. Yes. And it's crazy the substantial amount of money that is offered for fighting.
The direction the Triller is going to go in here because
So if you're signing up for a Triller fight, if that is the case, you're already willing to, you know, kind of put your morals to the side for a check.
Yes. And it's going to be what fucking I'm trying to think. They're like before, like the UFC bought up all of the. I think it was Pride. I think is Pride like Asian? Oh, you guys might know. Oh, all right.
You talking about Pride the rapper? Because he's Asian.
No, Pride, yeah. Pride.
That was a good
what was
one.
it, Pride FC or whatever. It was like a not UFC, but it was.
It's weird
like
that Fight Club has the FC. It makes me think of soccer because football club.
But Pride, like
Throws me off.
in their early days, I think it's Pride.
Japanese.
Yes, yes, they're Japanese. Okay, so this is I'm not going to be bullshitting here. Pride in their earlier days would have some people from like the Japanese like wrestling scene come in and fight real like MMA fighters, and it would be predetermined. But they would make it look like a real fight, right?
Yeah.
So like some very popular like MMA UFC fighters would go and fight in Pride, and the belts would be predetermined, and they'd be like killers. Like these guys would fucking knock the other guy's head off, but this other guy's big in Japan, and they want to fucking wow the crowd up for some money, and they would make that guy
Really fun to watch.
Pride.
They were really fun to watch.
Do you know who Boss Rutan is? Dude, Boss Rutan is fucking the best. He was in Pride, and he was a Pride champion because eventually, because the Yakuza was involved in Pride, I believe. And that inevitably led to their downfall. But, they would bet, you know what I mean? They would control betting and stuff. And so it'd be like, oh, this guy's going to win. We need this guy to win, whatever. But anyway, after they got kind of pushed out of that scene, you saw some actual MMA fighters do damage in that league. But Boss Rutan was one of those people. He would go over there, and he was super big on palm strikes. So, when you punch with a fist, as opposed to, say, slapping somebody, it makes your hand, 3 or 4 times denser. But all that power is coming from straight down your wrist, right? He would do palm strikes, so instead of punching you in the face, he would hit you with his wrist. Mm-hmm. He fucked people up with that, man. It's so fucked up. We gotta watch some highlight reels of Boss Rutan. He would just go, bah! And just drop people. It was the craziest shit ever. But he has a really funny video of him doing self-defense tactics. Yeah. Aiden Phelan used to fucking show us it all the time.
Shout out Aiden Phelan. I can't believe it took us 4 episodes to shout out Aiden Phelan, bro.
Yeah. Fuck. You see that thing that Foo posted in Colin?
Oh, man. I didn't. But shout out Foo as well. Did you see the slap fight that they had in the middle of the event? That was
awesome. You didn't see the slap fight?
Everyone that I was with watching it was super put on to they were just tapped into the slap fighting culture, bro. They had that guy with the green hair, my dad knew about him. He's like, that's the Russian guy, and he fucking knocks people out when he slaps in the face, but he fell down.
Well,
but the fucking black dude.
Is this the videos I see online of the two people at the table?
Yeah.
How have I not been? How has the algorithms never presented me the slap fighting competitions?
If this wasn't a fucking rigged fight, that would have been the best fight event I have ever seen.
Was it a straight up slap fight event?
No, I mean the whole Triller Fight Club event. If I knew for sure that Jake Paul didn't have that shit rigged to death, that would have been the best thing that I've ever seen.
So set in stone, you are 100% confident that fight was planned, ready to go.
Jake Paul makes so much money that he could pay fucking Ben Askren $5 million to still bank off of it. You know what I mean?
That's crazy, man. That shows that
sit on money for the rest of his life. Yeah. He doesn't want to fight. Nobody wants him to fight. So now all of a sudden he's got this opportunity to fight for a bunch of money. Yeah. It makes sense. Everything makes sense. The timing was fucked up. What?
He's got a nest egg.
Exactly. So he's got his money for the rest of his life. Jake Paul can keep doing his thing. Triller makes a bunch of money, makes this event go wild.
Makes sense.
I
just wonder how that information doesn't come out if that is actually true, because it's we all have access to the internet. Who do they employ that also is aware of that information? We all sign off on NDAs, but it's but the thing is, when NDA is if you have information that would fucking blow the fucking world up, and you're the person responsible for sharing that, you'll get fined.
They can take all your money back. Ben Askren wants money to secure his family. Sure.
Yeah, but
nobody wants you to fight, but now all
would
of a sudden
you take that if you were Ben Askren?
I understand why he took it.
Yeah, because he has the kids and he got the fucking.
I absolutely understand why
he's out of the line.
And at his age, it would be more detrimental to him to get back into fighting right now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He had his little gig going on, teaching wrestling classes or whatever it is that he's doing. He probably makes decent money off of it because he's been asked.
And he's made a bunch of money throughout his fighting career, a lot more than the average person, I would assume. If he's getting paid at least $100,000 to fight somebody.
But if he's got a family now,
you know
what I mean? If he was
he's retired too, so it's where's his money coming in? Yeah,
right. And he's fucking up all that money, and now all of a sudden he's just got this wild opportunity to make that's $600,000 plus whatever Jake Paul is probably willing to give him in some sort of NDA fucking contract to say, you're going to lose this fight.
Yeah.
And you're going to be set for the rest of your life, but I'm going to continue on my upward trajectory. That, like the fact that is just...
It's kind of sad,
that's
bro.
Undeniable. It is kind of... That's why I was...
It's kind of sad. Well, while I was watching that clip of him walking out and his wife is super... But you know what's crazy? He's walking out, big smile on his face. He has his team around him. I'm assuming that's his wife who has, like, her hand on his chest and she's, like, smiling. And it's like, bro, like, he is not chasing... respect from the fucking internet and social media.
Dude.
He's not trying to grow a fucking public figure fan base, whatever. He got his core fan base, people that are smart enough, most likely that they're aware of what he did, and you know they're like, oh, that's cool, whatever, get your money. Because that's like when you're common.
When you're a family
opinion,
man,
get your money.
Unless you have an unhealthy,
get your money.
Unless you have an unhealthy amount of pride.
Yeah.
No, if I was in that position. Like I said,
like whatever, but if you're comfortable with yourself and you want to sustain your family,
$600,000 right now to get knocked out on fucking some bullshit fight,
you're the GOAT, bro. Easy as 2 minutes of work of your whole life.
At least set up I could take care of my
next
car,
10 years,
pay my car off,
get a house, pay that shit off, travel a little bit, experience shit, invest.
Still, you know what I mean?
I always hate when people say, "Oh, that dude just sold out." Like, nah, you would take the paycheck too.
Yeah,
Yes.
Exactly. Put yourself in that position.
It's the same
and tell
thing
me
with
what you're gonna
snitching.
do. You just never had the opportunity to be able to offer something like that, so you're gonna fucking judge somebody else because your pride is so important.
I don't blame him.
Fuck you.
I don't respect him for it because he could have knocked him the fuck out. He could have knocked Jake Paul out.
I would have loved to see that.
And fucked up the whole thing.
Do you think he wanted to knock Jake Paul out? Because I think that might have been a little bit more valuable to him. I guess it wasn't more valuable to him than the money. What if it's all real? You are very 100% assured that it's not real. Let us know if you're watching it in the comments if you think that this shit was rigged or this shit was authentic and he really got knocked down. But the thing at the end of the day, it would have been nice for because the referee was the one that really ended it.
Yes,
He ended it, and that's the and the referee
wanted to keep moving.
Yeah, the referee mispronounced his name. So what does that say? I mean, how could the referee not know how to pronounce the last name of the fucking biggest event of the whole night that he's employed and paid to fucking referee? How does he not know how to pronounce his name? You're a professional fighter? Or it wasn't the referee, it was the announcer. Why is the referee's not out here announcing everyone's name? But at the end of the day...
You want to know what? You know who they had for the fucking... The call-in, like at the beginning when they announced the names of the fighters? It wasn't the referee. They had Michael Buffer. Not Bruce Buffer from the UFC where they do real fights with real fucking people. Is that
a wrestling guy?
Michael Buffer is Bruce Buffer's brother who does the announcing for the WWE. So that just fucking goes to show that this is some bullshit, man. They got the WWE fucking announcer in there too. Like,
we'll have to see how it plays out over the next year and couple
the
years.
fucked up thing is too, and I love fucking Snoop Dogg, but there's tons of people that definitely knew about
Snoop Dogg's in on that,
Snoop
bro.
Dogg dropped $2 million on Jake Paul.
Yeah, but that's what I'm thinking. It's like if this shit, and that's another thing.
As
Isn't
fuck.
that kind of corrupt, bro? If this shit is rigged,
if Ben Askren was to
you got
walk
people
up to
losing
Jake Paul
money
in the
thinking
street
it's a
right
real
now and
fight.
fight him, if Jake Paul and Ben Askren met each other in the street right now,
he said that, bro, in a press conference.
Snoop Dogg would not put $2 million on Jake Paul.
It's not a boxing match then.
Well, no, but still.
Yeah.
We just watched Ben Askren get punched in the face and take a solid shot.
Yeah. I mean, the evidence is there.
That shot was good at best.
That's earlier in his career as well.
And that's first round.
But
not that much earlier.
Yeah.
Some of that shit was like
he hasn't been participating in that kind of activity for about 2 years. But I mean, I'm sure he spars a lot. He's been training like he would train for any other fight, according to him.
This beer tastes spicy, dude.
Yeah, that spicy beer, bro. But at the end of the day, it was disappointing to see, bro. It was disappointing because it was just there was a lot. I was invested in this fight because I just watching the press conference and everything, and just seeing how they were talking to each other. It was. You guys both got the same beer, bro. Yeah. This is literally riffraff right here. Neon Friday. The word neon riffraff should have copyrighted. Off topic, but.
Kind of. Well, we talked about fucking Riff Raff last week because Riff Raff and Yellow Wolf dropped an album. Do you taste that peppery taste? I don't know what it is. It's just like a weird, like vegetable or something weird. It doesn't taste like beer.
This somehow tastes like, it reminds me of like a pan-fried steak.
It tastes to me like a banana pepper mixed with beer.
Let me try it. It's been sitting in front of me. I'm not even taking a sip.
Like light banana pepper taste. Maybe I'm fucked up from eating that hot sauce.
It's that New England IPA. Oh, I like that, bro.
It's not bad.
I'll
at
be
all.
fucking
It
with
just
that,
tastes,
man.
kind of tastes like peppers or something. To me.
I be fucking with that. There was something I was
I
gonna
definitely
say, but
taste
it
that
slipped
like
my mind.
spicy.
Yeah,
might have had
yes.
something
Oh
to do
yeah.
with what
It's
you
not
were
like
saying.
spicy, but it's like the side taste of spicy. It's weird, but yeah. So fucking Riff Raff and Yellow Wolf dropped an album last week.
Yep.
And then Yellow Wolf dropped an album with DJ Paul, from 3 6 Mafia this week.
You listened to it a bit?
I actually listened to the whole thing.
Fuck
straight
with
through.
Yellow Wolf, bro.
I do too.
He's
and I
really
never
good.
used to. For some reason, I had this, and I think it was because of some guy that like I don't know. I just had this kind of like negative view on
A
like,
fan of Yellow Wolf
Southern
that you
people.
knew ruined Yellow Wolf for you?
No.
No?
No. It was just like
People can do that.
It was
People
like
can ruin your view of an artist because you don't like the person that put you onto them or that
I
you know
hated
is a big
Southern
fan of them.
accents. You put me on to Yellow Wolf, but I
I
hated
did.
Southern accent.
Yeah.
You were
I was
definitely-
listening to Yellow Wolf in like 9th grade, but I wasn't like the biggest fan. I was just consuming everything. I was listening to Kendrick, Absol, Mac Miller,
Well,
you know,
I
fucking
used
Danny
to play
Brown,
Xbox
Yellow
a
Wolf.
lot, and I found that people who typically had that kind of an accent,
They're
were-
voting for Trump.
I didn't like them. No, well, this was far before.
They're
that.
voting for Trump in
I
2014.
just didn't agree with a lot of guys from the South, and it was probably over things that lead to similar disagreements. but
Similar
whatever it is.
ideologies and
Yeah,
opinions that
yeah.
correlate with people that would vote for Trump and that are conflicting with shit.
Yes, but
The controversial
when
people.
I heard him, I was like, I just can't fucking get into it because I
Straight
hate
outta
this.
Alabama. But he's not like, there's rappers
I
in
love
that
Yellow
space that are take it to the further extreme that are like,
But
I support Trump, I'm a fucking Republican, super right wing guy, and I rap. Like those guys exist. I've came across them on Instagram. Excuse me, I'm burping straight in the mic tonight, baby. You're
But
getting the
what blows
authentic
me
self.
away is like that, like Yellow Wolf is gonna drop 2 projects with 2 different people in a row.
That's dope. And he,
For number, because think about this. Like, remember, like
He must
when
be
we were
independent now.
kids- Oh, it has to be. But
'Cause
when we
you-
were kids, man, like it was like, somebody huge drops an album. And no, I was thinking about this too the other day. I think there's probably like at least 25 to 1. Like when you were young, rappers that had like an actual audience outside of like their family and friends, to now, like people that have a real audience. Like when you were young, it's probably just access to internet and delivery methods for your music. But like then it was like there were only the big names that everybody still knows now. And now there's like so many guys out there that are like,
so much
you know
music,
what I mean?
bro.
Like in like
Because
basically the
everybody
range that
has
you're at,
access to find
you know what I mean?
music. Everybody's online, and all those people that are online, majority of the population have access to finding a bunch of new
Like-
artists every
like-
day, which means there's can be thousands and thousands and thousands
there's tons
of
of guys
rappers
out there that have like
that are
fucking
sustaining
25
themselves and living
to
their
100,000
fucking life.
followers on Instagram, and they're making money off their music.
Easy
You
Man
know what I mean?
is
It's-
an artist from Vancouver or from Calgary who lives in BC, and
He's from Calgary. I
He's
was
from
born there,
Calgary,
too.
yeah, bro. He's from Calgary. How many rappers do you know from Calgary? Definitely the biggest rapper ever from Calgary. And he's about 300,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. He doesn't ever do shows. Has no manager, no label, nothing. And his income is solely from just owning the masters to his music and just the streaming revenue that he gets every month. And he probably makes about 5 to 10 grand a month. He bought a Tesla. I did a song with him. Shout out Easy Mac.
He's a Tesla.
He is a Tesla.
Good for him.
Yeah, but that shows the power of streaming revenue, because with streaming revenue, people always say, oh, you don't make that much money off streaming, all this shit. And this is gonna lead perfectly into this other topic that I researched a little bit before that I wanted to talk about today, and me and Jay were talking about before.
Ooh.
But that's why all these artists nowadays are like, I want to own my masters again, and all these people were like, oh, you don't really make that much money from streaming. That's fucking bullshit. Why do you think that why labels want to sign artists in the first place? Because the labels want to have
Not
the
even
rights to own the
necessary.
masters, bro. They want to have the rights to own the masters and the control over where those songs from those artists, where they go, because they know that can make them money. The artists do the shows and that pays them, and they do the endorsements and the fucking whatever, but the masters, if you're an independent artist and you can figure out a way to create your own platform that'll generate you a shit ton of streams that'll get you paid at the end of every month, and then you got fucking merchandise coming in because you got a fan base that's streaming that music and they're buying hoodies and t-shirts, and then you get to go do shows, and you have Spotify analytics that's saying, this is where all these people listen to my music, so I'm going to go do a show here and run ads and promote it in these cities, and then those people are going to see it, they're going to buy tickets, blah, blah, blah. You're going to fucking make a killing, bro. And I wish more artists were transparent and showed the audience, for people like myself, how much they're making from all these different revenue streams, because they must make a shit ton, especially if they're independent, and that's the fucking row. The only time a major label or a label is going to reach out to an artist nowadays is when the artist has already built up a following, and they already have people. The artists sign to labels now because they just want to get their career taken to the next level, whether that means being on the radio more, being on late night TV, performing at the Grammys, getting nominated for shit like that.
Have you looked at Polo G's numbers?
Yes,
Like
and I'm going to get to this. We can get to this in a second, but I just wanted to quickly kind of have this go into what I was reading in here before. Kind of like two things, but I don't know if you ever looked at this, but Taylor Swift. And Taylor Swift is somebody who I always kind of put into the category of, like, they're way too big for me to even give a fuck about their career or their music at all. I don't know any Taylor Swift music, really, to be honest. Jake can chime in a bit here about the actual quality of it, but Taylor Swift, bro.
Jesus Christ.
She has like 50 million monthly listeners. But listen to this.
Jesus
So this is what I have wrote up
Christ.
before because I was looking at this. So Taylor Swift didn't own the rights to her master recordings.
That
of her-
sucks.
She didn't own the. So this is the thing. So she didn't own the rights to her master recordings of her earlier work. The label she was signed to was called Big Machine, and she recorded her first 6 albums and released. And she had those big hits, Love Story, I don't know whatever the fuck, other songs.
And they tried to sell her rights to
So
somebody,
this is what
right?
happened. So Big Machine, she was trying to get her masters back. She was willing to pay the amount that it costed for her to get the rights for them back. So moving forward, she can make the money off of her work that she signed over to them to make the money off of moving forward.
For
So-
years.
For years.
Like for years.
Yeah. And then, but then that company sold her masters
Scooter Braun.
to Scooter Braun's company,
Yeah.
who Scooter Braun manages Justin Bieber, Kanye West, he did, Demi Lovato, all these people, like people I think in the industry that didn't have a good relationship with Taylor Swift. And then, so she had an issue with that because she was already trying to get her masters back. And then Scooter Braun was not cooperating with that at all. And that was like worst case scenario for her. So then she was trying to bid on getting them back from Scooter Braun. And then his company sent her an NDA basically saying, sign this NDA and you can bid with the other people that are trying to bid on the rights to your music. But in order for you to be able to get the opportunity to even bid on getting these masters back, you need to sign this non-disclosure agreement saying that you won't publicly say anything negative about Scooter Braun moving forward.
Yeah,
so she could sign and agree to never say in a legal contract, she could sign a legal contract agreeing to never negatively saying anything about Scooter Braun moving forward. To bid on something she might lose. And so she didn't do that, and then he sold it to this other company without even getting her permission, because she still owns a percentage of those masters, I believe, and the amount that it sold for was upwards of $300 million. That's how much her masters are worth. So now she's re-recording her albums that are under these that are owned by the masters, like these songs that are owned by this company now that bought it. She's re-recording those albums that consist of these songs and releasing them. So she just put a new one out that's like her first album or whatever, Fearless or whatever it's called. And in the last year, she put out 2 other albums of original material where she owns the masters and all that. And then she put out the first of many albums she's re-recording so she can own the masters of the same songs, the new versions. She actually broke a record for having the most #1 albums in the shortest span of time. Should be like the Beatles or something like that. But that's an interesting thing. So do you think that because of this, this is just business, or is Scooter Braun just a fucking cocksucker?
It is just business. It's actually in some ways parallel to the whole Jake Paul conversation that we were just having. But like I'm pretty sure at one point Michael Jackson owned like a
The
lot
Beatles
of
masters. Yeah, he did. He owned them.
And so
you can buy that shit. That's crazy.
This is you, just like fucking Ben Askren had his nest egg. This is you as a fucking incredibly rich person setting up your nest egg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like you own this, and now like Taylor Swift isn't going to be like, think about all the records from like the 30s, 40s that existed, right? And all of those rights went to public access probably by now. But
I think it's like 100 years. Or something.
Yeah, something like that. It's like 100 years. So say if it's 100 years, let's just say Taylor Swift has some solid records that are going to stand the test of time. So if you can own that for your life and half of your kid's life, that pays for a lot of stuff. So you're really like you're setting yourself up. It is very self-centered for sure, but it is a part of that business. Now, mind you,
the record label
nowadays,
music business is dirty.
It is dirty as fuck.
But you're playing the
nowadays,
game,
like
bro.
you said, people are being more conscious of this.
Yeah.
And keeping
these
the
stories will
There are
become less
rappers-
and less and less common over the next 10 to 15 years. 100%.
Yes, because you see
Because
a lot of-
motherfuckers
I
are
gotta
not signing
chime in on
labels.
this one though. Like this is part of the business. Like the music industry is evil. Like they have been since as long as the music industry existed, they've been awful. But Taylor Swift signed that contract when she was 13 or 14. She was a child when she signed that contract. She had her first album, her self-titled album, already wrote by herself when she got signed by Big Machine.
Yeah.
Which that album they own the masters to.
Yeah.
She primarily writes all of her songs.
Yeah.
She wanted to get her masters back. The Beatles masters, they were sold off. The Beatles had the right to their masters. They were sold. That was them selling their masters. But Taylor Swift has been actively trying to get them back. And
Are you sure about that?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yoko Ono sold the masters to people, and then Michael Jackson. Paul
What a piece
McCartney
of
has
shit.
most of them back.
You ever listen
Like-
to Yoko Ono's music?
Yeah, it's awful.
It's trash.
Yeah. It's
It's just her going-
it's bird. Yeah. No, that's better than Yoko Ono's music.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You should do
yeah.
a cover of all Yoko Ono songs
dude,
and
but-
release it.
We'll
in
watch
that
it after
pitch.
this. You'll
But to
have a
get
laugh.
but to get back to this, like
Yeah.
every time she tried to buy her masters back, Big Machine was like, "Yeah, you can get your masters back, but you'll get one album back for every album you release under us." And then when she had to
Is
sign,
that the current agreement she's in right now? 'Cause she's signed with Republic.
No. This Republic deal was just her. She wanted to make new music and she just didn't want to do it under Big Machine, so she went with Republic. And also, she made a deal with Republic that
His Big Machine, the owner left or something, I think. Or,
yes, the
yeah.
person that she signed with, Scott.
Disick.
I
I'm just joking. Isn't it the Kardashian?
it's
Kardashian guy?
Scott something. Yeah, he left, but she tried to buy her music back, and every time, like even when
That's
that-
crazy, bro.
that-
If you have the money like, how would you not want to sell the artist who wrote those songs that made your company a shit ton of money, the rights to their music moving forward back? If you're willing to sell it and they have enough money to fucking buy it to satisfy you, that's
and
that's
that NDA too. That wasn't just an NDA. That was an NDA, and he would still receive a bunch of money from this music.
right.
What I
Like that
don't
was
understand-
basically you signed this NDA and still work with him,
What-
Yeah.
and she just wants nothing to do with him.
What I don't understand, and I don't know the fucking legalese that was involved in this contract, but when you look at to compare in hip hop, Lil Pump got signed for a bunch of money,
Yeah.
right? Like $1 million or a couple $1 million when he first got signed, but he was under the age of 18, and then he pulled out of that deal legally because he was under the age of 18.
He did some smart shit, didn't
He
he?
pulled out of that deal because he was under the age of 18 when he signed the contract, and then re-signed with somebody else for like $10 million, and all he's
Yeah.
been doing is smoking weed and
And
tights.
he's fucking
ever
bitches on
since.
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Have you ever been curious to buy the Lil Pump OnlyFans? Because he's
No.
out here. I'm not, but I'm just like, is he actually out here
I
like
do
having
not
sex
go-
on camera? Because he's a successful, well-known public figure. Like anytime a public figure, artist, whatever, has a sex tape, that's like pretty,
He
commonly
has sex
shared.
tapes on the internet.
He started an I've seen it. Like
I
he
feel like he
shares it on
probably
his
just
Instagram.
smokes
It's
weed.
called like Pump's Playhouse, and he always has like a bunch of like porn stars and stuff like in his Instagram stories, and he's like swipe up. So I would imagine the people that he is working with aren't scared to do that, and I'm sure he isn't because he's just like desperate for any kind of relevancy and capitalizing on his audience and monetizing as much as he can. I haven't heard too much about it, but he's had enough success for that to be talked about. I've never dove into it, but
I don't think people really care about him. But what
They
what
don't.
I
They
am-
don't at all.
What I am curious about
Yeah.
is how someone's so goddamn stupid. So it must have been some very technical language.
But that's the thing with Taylor Swift signing off
Taylor
on this
Swift's
contract when she was
contracts.
13, 14. It's not like they took advantage of a 14-year-old. She definitely still had her parents hire legal professionals to overlook this contract and see if it was in her best interest.
Well,
But
yes,
at the same time, she probably
yes,
doesn't have
but no
that
one.
much money, and the amount of money that she made, even if a small percentage, like she's not. This is the thing. Yes, she wants her masters back, and yes, they might be doing her dirty on the business aspect, even though it's still legal or whatever.
You still got that pen?
But did the camera go out? Did the camera go out? But it's like she signed off on the contract, which gave the rights for anything that has happened to her moving forward to be legally allowed to have happened. And she definitely, probably in the age that she became popular in, if she was independent and didn't sign to a major record label that had the marketing budget to be able to go and book her tours and radio features and get her music videos produced, get them pushed out to like MTV and whatever was going to promote her music at the time and put her on the radio, she wouldn't be the person she is today to have the opportunity to be able to work with songwriters and producers and manufacture albums to get them released and go number one and all this shit.
I'm curious about
to be in a position to have enough money to buy her masters back.
But
it's like it goes both
the
ways.
The issue isn't the initial contract. The issue is things that happened about that. Because she wanted to buy her masters, and she wanted to buy her masters basically from the point she found out what masters really were, and like what the consequences were, and she wasn't told about the sale when they were sold. All the meetings, all the phone calls.
She's not down bad, broke on the side of the street. So, like she's living very.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
but the fact that they completely sold it under the table. The only time anyone that was close to her found out about this sale was her father was included with a lawyer on a call that was basically just dotting the I's and crossing the T's.
Yeah.
Like they could do nothing at that point.
I actually heard about this
so
a while
like
ago
literally she was like, I will give you anything you want except working with you because I just want to make my own music.
Yeah.
Because
she's in a position now. I mean, she is only 31. She has the platform. She can make as much music. She put out 2-3 albums in the last 265 days or whatever. Like she broke a record going number one in this.
But she was working on a documentary, like her documentary, and they were like, nah, you can't use your music. So she couldn't use any of her recorded music for the documentary.
What I'm curious
is that the one that's on Netflix?
I think they came out with agreement, so I think it's back in it. But like originally they were like, yeah, no, you can't use your own music just because it's you.
Yeah.
And even live, there was like I think it was the Grammys she was going to perform, and they're like, no, you can't perform our songs.
But what I'm curious about is what was so specific, because what it comes down to is language and how you're literally using words in a contract. But what I'm confused about is I feel like maybe time has changed things, but I feel like Taylor Swift would have been less taken advantage of than somebody like Lil Pump.
No, she wasn't taken advantage of. That's where the issue lies.
She signed a contract. The contract was read by professionals that probably were hired in her best interest.
This contract is fine. But it's the fact that they underhand sold the masters when she was trying to buy them. Like, she's fine with the contract. She's fine that, like, she originally signed away the masters. Like, all of that is, like, whatever. That happened. She signed a bad contract. She's okay with that.
Yeah.
Right. It's the fact that she wanted to buy the masters, has the money to, offered to pay more than the masters were bought for, and they wouldn't sell them to her.
Yes, but
she just wants her music back, and they won't give it to her.
So
like, that's all it is.
But what I'm saying is, I'm sure that there was an agreement, and we can look this up. I'm not sure. I could be, again, talking to my ass. But I'm sure that Lil Pump agreed to give away his masters when he signed his major contract. Why was it so easy for him to reverse out of that and say, no, these are my masters because I was like 16 or 17 when I signed this contract?
Well, he fought that. She didn't fight this contract because she knew she signed a bad contract. So she didn't legally try to fight that contract.
She didn't try at all.
Well, she may have. I don't know. But she signed. But her parents signed that contract. Like, the other contract could have been worded differently. There could have been wording in it that, like, the contract could have been wrote differently, right?
That's
like,
what I'm wondering. Like,
yeah,
it comes down to legal.
I would probably throw that at a technicality more than anything.
Yes.
Because the music industry does this a lot. Like,
so that's what I'm asking. Is like, what is the difference where Lil Pump, somebody who probably had no thought process in signing his contract,
I would say he got lucky. He got lucky.
I gotta pee.
Like, what it is, it is he got lucky. Because you hear this all the time. Like Michelle Branch, you must know who she is. She has like she was a pop artist in the 2000s. She has a whole album that's not released because she didn't want to change some songs. And this label was just like, okay, well, we're just not going to put it out then. And that music is just locked up. And if you really want to find out a lot about this, the Black Keys, watch any interview they do because they always start talking about the music industry. And how they just literally it's all about them, and it's more about their egos. They could make more money if they put their egos aside and just let the artists do it, but they want to control everything.
Can I purchase one of those beers?
You can just take that beer. You can just have this beer.
Which one?
It's the only one I have left.
Oh, yeah, all right. Oh, I thought the toller was in that. I appreciate it.
There you go.
Sweet. I'm not just taking that though. Here you go.
No, keep your money.
Aerodynamics. Let's see what we had here to talk about, because there's some. Most of this was about the Ben Askren fight.
I wish there was less music performances.
I actually like that, because you know what, and this is like, like I messaged in the group, like our podcast group chat, and I said, before I watched anything, I said, Triller is going to overtake TikTok.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
And I believed that until I saw the bullshit they pulled. So unless they can pull the entire WWE fucking fans over to Triller, this is a failing method. Because you want to know why the WWE's fan growth has been receding over years? Because
People
it's
want
bullshit.
real.
People want the real shit. And this is not the real shit. So, you know, I feel like this fight was like the peak for excitement, where I tried to throw that to Jay.
Yeah, there's a $5 bill on this table.
But I feel like they tried to really pull in the fighting excitement, and that's not how you do it. Like, there's nobody that really understands fighting that believes that this happened.
I just had a great piss.
Good? Yeah, no, I got to pee because you're talking about it.
Another thing that I was going to bring up here, kind of relaying off the Taylor Swift conversation, Apple Music sent me an email a couple days ago. It was like a general email to all the artists that have their music on Apple Music. So they probably sent out millions of emails. And this seemed like, I Googled it afterwards, it seemed like it was public information as well. Like they put this out in a press release. Basically, Apple Music, they released this statement that said the number of recording artists whose catalogs generated recording and publishing royalties over $1 million per year increased over 120% since 2017. And the number of recording artists whose catalogs generated over 50,000 per year has now more than doubled. And Apple Music has confirmed that they pay 1 cent a stream. So that's $1 every 100 streams, $10 every 1,000 streams, $100 every 10,000 streams, $1,000 for 100,000 streams, and $10,000 for 1 million. I wrote this down. Which, shout out to math. With that being said,
That's actually not that crazy.
No, that's good.
It is good.
That's fucking good, bro.
It's definitely good. And I mean, that's just one streaming service.
That's better than Spotify.
You can thank T-Swift for that one.
Yeah, well, the thing is, on Spotify, if you get about 1 million streams, it's like $4,000 to $6,000 American. So this is better, and that's a really easy number to go off of. So with that being said, but when you look at that, bro, and it goes back to this argument of people that are like, oh, streaming doesn't make any money. Yes, it does. If you know how to operate and work those algorithms and get your supporters to like and add it to their playlist and share it to Facebook and all this shit, if enough people are listening to it and engaging with the songs after it comes out, the platforms will be like, oh, we need to show more people this song because we want people to stay on our platform so they can continue to be subscribed to our platform so we can make more money. And if they're not subscribed, they're still going on our platform and listening to songs so we can put more ads in front of them. They want to keep people on the platform as long as possible. So they'll show it to more people. And if they like it, they'll show it to more people. And that's just making the artists more money. That did not exist before streaming services came into play. It was either you were signed to a label and you were in the stores and they were buying CDs, or you were fucking nobody.
Yo, look at it. Okay.
But
I thought I was.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I thought I was just tripping that I sucked a chunk of something out of this beer.
You drank the sediment. The
sediment? That looks like a piece of yeast. It looks like the same kind of yeast. Look at that right there. It's right in the fucking lip of my beer. Look at that shit.
It basically is yeast.
I just sucked that out of my beer. That was gross.
Generally,
Neon
New England
Icon,
IPAs are
you're
supposed to
sued.
be like stirred a little bit and poured into a glass, but
what I was saying was, with this information from Apple Music, it just shows you, man, you're an independent artist and you have full control of if you can make as much fucking music as possible, put out as much as possible. Your fans do not give a fuck if you don't put out you got to feed them as much as possible.
Well, that's Yellow Wolf earlier.
Yes, he's feeding them as much as possible.
I love that he could drop 2 albums in 2 weeks.
It does not take that fucking long to write a song. No, writing a song, I can write a song in 2 hours. And people could say, who else must not be that good of a song if it only takes that long? No, it can be a great fucking song and you can make it in 2 hours. People that delay shit like that, there is so many talented, creative people in fucking Nova Scotia, bro, that make so much music and they put out 3 singles a year. And they're going to keep doing that and they're never going to make that fucking much money. And it's because they don't have that much of an output. And it's like, Just do it, and people are gonna be like, "You're putting out too much music. You gotta make a single, and you gotta
You're
shoot a
staying
video,
relevant.
and you gotta save up money and fucking do a fucking video and push the fucking marketing and all this shit." And where do you get? You probably didn't make the amount of money back that you put in, and now you're back at square one, and you're just gonna keep doing this forever.
Well,
Look at, I'm an artist.
Last year, like 2 years ago, or whatever, we were putting out music videos. What, once a week or something?
Yeah. Who gives a fuck? Do it.
It doesn't matter, and it's like
It's
you gotta
like-
stay relevant. Like
Man.
shit moves so
Bruh,
fast these days.
People are
You know what?
independent, trying to act like they're signed to a major label and adhere to the same strategy that major labels have. Major labels put out a single, and then they punch a bunch of money behind that single to put it on the radio because they have the funding to be able to do that, and that's how that shit works. This is a product. If you're an independent artist and you can make music and you can write a song a day, you don't have to put out a song every day because that's a little bit oversaturated, but put out a song as much as possible. Put out the videos. Do as much different creative shit like this. Put it out because your audience does not give a fuck, man. They just like you.
I was reading this the other day. Ideally, what you want to do is put out at least a song a month, or at least an EP every 3 months, or an album every year. If you want the bare minimum, if you want to
Right,
stay
nobody
relevant.
gives a
Like
shit.
that's like the bare minimum if you want to stay relevant. That's what you got to do.
Rapid
Right,
fire
like-
since fucking
2008, Gucci Mane started putting out so much music because his friends on his tour bus were listening to Lil Wayne because Lil Wayne was putting out so much music. These artists are making more money than you, and they put out more music than you, and you're not as big as them. So why are people not putting out as much music as the people that are at least why are you not at least matching people that are much bigger
Taylor
than
Swift put out 3 albums
It's
this year,
stupid,
and
bro.
she is bigger than you.
or
If
just
you
put
wanna
out more
beat her,
content, bro? People are so fucking.
Well, people are more and more exposed.
They're
to
so
things, right?
lame because they're fucking obsessed with how their aesthetic looks, and nobody gives a fuck about your aesthetic when you have 700 fucking followers,
Well,
bro.
like fucking last week, I was talking about Pharoah Monch, and I mean, I haven't done a lot of research into it, but Mackie was saying, well, he's notorious for being lazy with albums.
Yeah.
And I was like, these are songs.
Depends on what you want, bro. If
But
you want to
the-
be artsy fartsy and fucking wear your fucking beanie and fucking cry all day and fucking whatever, bro, like fucking do that, bro. But if
I mean,
you're
you-
fucking
you-
motivated,
you
you
can
want to get
take-
somewhere with anything, drop shit all the time. Don't do quantity over quality. Quality with quantity, and you will get the trust of your small core base, and they'll show a friend, and their friend will get put on, and they'll show a friend, and they'll show a friend, and then just keep doing it. But people get discouraged too quickly, and they want to have their fucking social media presence resemble someone that is fucking famous, that has millions of followers, but it doesn't work like that, man. Because the people that have millions of followers have the leverage to
work
kind
there.
of be a little bit more cautious of what they put out because they already are sustaining themselves. But it's like, just fucking put shit out, bro. I don't know why I'm on this rant, but it's like I just been thinking about this, man, and like
I get that, and I feel like actually, in a way, thinking introspectively about this, I feel like that may have played like a part in like why I kind of don't really use social media, because you know what I mean, like the realism of like you gotta go from point A to B to C to D. It's not just fucking A to Z. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, at this point, I don't even really care about following, but I think at the point in time that I may have disembarked from being very present on social media all the time, that was something that I thought about. You know what I mean? Like, that I wanted to, you know, I might post something and want this result, and I don't get that. I'm like,
it's just consistency, man. This podcast doesn't get nearly as many views as like a music video would, and my music videos when I put them out, they don't get nearly as many views as I think they deserve to get. But it doesn't. That's the thing. Just keep doing it, bro. Because some people, I know, man. I know there's some people that know me, that know my fucking music and whatever. They're like, man, why is he doing a podcast? Why is he doing this? Why is he putting all this shit out all the
well,
time?
it's just how anything grows.
Bro,
naturally,
I don't
man.
give a fuck about like what I care about what I've built up to this point with my music, but it's like I see the fucking potential of everything else to be so much broader and could, you know, we could just take so much shit to like a higher level that it's like, why not do everything that we humanly can do to progress shit moving forward? And I think if you're an artist and you aren't signed to a label, like, you have no excuse not to do as many different things possible to expand your reach to make yourself more successful. If you're spending your time on making music, don't you want people to hear your music? If you don't, that's fine.
Now keep in mind, sometimes people write a lot of bad music in a short amount of time, I do think it's better to write one good song a week than 7 bad songs.
I
a week.
agree.
But the
100%.
thing is,
You don't have to put them all out, but if
Yeah,
you
that's
know
what
they're
I'm saying.
good,
If you even if you write those 7 bad songs, like that's progression. Like
You got to
you're
work.
not-
You got to
exactly.
practice to get better.
You gotta throw shit out there to get better.
yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. Like you wrote for like what a year before you
Bro.
even released a single song.
Yeah, I wrote for a whole year. I started writing music when I was
might've-
13.
And I'm not judging.
Or
But
14.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But you might have wrote shit songs for 8 months straight.
100%.
You know what I mean?
I just wasn't putting them out
You might
because I
have
was
wrote
like, these
shit
aren't good
songs
enough
every
yet.
single day for 8 months straight.
Because
I'm
there's
not-
so many people that wrote a song, recorded it, and they're like,
it's-
I'm putting out a song,
But you
becoming
gotta,
a rapper.
But you got to practice.
Yeah, not everything
I
you
was
write
like,
is
that's
good.
not yet, man.
I was writing songs all through junior high and high school before I wrote anything good.
Yeah.
Well,
Like I wrote like hundreds of songs before I wrote a good song.
Yeah.
Well, I used to write all the time. Like me and you used to listen to beats. We had an off block together, and I would write every single time that we fucking would come on an off block. I was never happy with it. I fucking have like one verse on one of your mixtapes.
Yeah.
Ever. But you know what I mean? Like I'm not.
Straight flames, though.
You know what I mean? Well, maybe I don't even know. I haven't listened to it in a while. I found it the other day though. But what I'm saying
Goes
is,
hard.
like, you can do something over and 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 over, and it may never ever be good.
Yeah.
Maybe because you're just not good at that. But you have to practice to figure that out and get there.
Yeah.
And you can release things along the way.
Yeah,
Once
man.
you're
And-
comfortable with what you have,
and
you
if-
got to go rapid fire because people are going to pay attention every single time. And like today in the internet, things keep getting faster and faster. So the more you release, even if you feel like you're being a dickhead about being this rapid release fucking
Just
machine
keep
gun,
going, bro.
Keep going.
Because some people are like, man, why are you remixing so many songs? Why are you putting out a song every week? Why is it not high quality, big budget, fucking well thought out concept shit? Because
Jake
the
Paul
fans that
says something
follow me,
retarded every 5 seconds.
yeah, you forget about it.
And you forget about it, and he keeps getting his
Yeah.
fan base because he's
Thanks, bro.
always
Were you not
there
were you not
being
picking up some of
stupid
my
as
shit?
fuck.
You weren't picking up what I was saying? Oh, okay.
I just seen you try to adjust the mic like 3 times now. I thought I'd do it for you.
I'm not even. I didn't even. Yeah.
All right, I got pee.
But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, bro. And this is the thing. We're entering the generation where it's like super. I think it's like the popular opinion is like, be independent, control your shit, because we have all the resources to be able to take advantage of algorithms on these social media platforms where if something is decently good and people, a small audience, says they like it and they share it and they comment on it and it shows it to more people and it shows it to more people, you don't have to sign to a label. You're going to make way more fucking money. You're going to have fucking 800,000 people that are following you that want to listen to all your shit and they'll buy all your merchandise. You're going to be fucking rich as shit.
At this point in time in our society, you don't need a label. The only thing a label will do is
100%.
get you notoriety. You can
They
do
get you on the
everything
grant. It
they
depends
can.
on what you want.
Well,
Who was the
If-
last like
see, I
person
would-
who signed to a label that got extremely popular and successful right off rip, like Billie
See,
Eilish or
I
something?
think maybe like if you want to be a really big pop star, then you got to sign to a label. But if you're doing
Yeah.
anything that's not like straight pop,
Yeah.
you don't need a label.
I think eventually people will just get so big on their own, and then there's so many labels
If-
that are just calling them, and they're just like, I got so much money to offer you to get you to make you the biggest person in the fucking world,
If-
and you're still gonna get a shit ton of money.
If you
A
work,
percentage of much more is still better than the whole 100% of what you're getting right now, and it's like you're gonna be way more of a household name, and your music is gonna reach so much more people, and you're not gonna be making less money. And people are like, "Fuck it, yeah, I'll be Lil Nas X, I'll be fucking Billie Eilish, I'll be whoever, I'll be the baby." You know what I mean? Like, there's
If-
just
if you work hard and you're good,
there's no
you'll get there.
industry plans is it's kind of a whack term because I don't know. Have you heard that term before, Jay? Like, I know you have because it's like a more of a hip hop oriented term. An industry plant is somebody who it's very obvious that their success has came from signing to a label, and the label put a bunch of money into them, and everyone has just heard of them right off the bat because they have a huge hit out of nowhere, like 24K Golden, or like
it's a musical conspiracy.
the number one thing that made me, I hate it when people say Russ was an industry plant. That pissed me off so much, bro, because he's the exact opposite of
crazy
that,
that
and
you
people
brought him
came
up.
around to that.
I was literally just thinking about.
He's
that.
independent as fuck. He's trying to yeah. I mean, I'm not getting into the Russ shit, but like Russ is the goat.
He was dropping a single like what weekly?
Russ
for,
was
like-
dropping. So this is an artist. His name is he's from Atlanta. He started out as a
He
producer,
really fuck with his shit.
and he was producing for his homie Boogus. Shout out to Boogus. And then he was like, I'm gonna start rapping. Brian was 18, 19, so he started rapping, did a few features on his buddy's songs, and then he did his whole album. He produced and his whole thing is like, I produce, I mix, I master, I engineer, I write, I record, I sing, I rap, I produce, all that shit. He's totally DIY. Puts out one album, whatever. Puts out 2, 3. He puts out 10 albums, and he still has 1,000 followers on SoundCloud or whatever. And then he started realizing that his albums that he was putting out, the most streamed song was always the first song. So he's like, well, why don't I just put out one song album? So I'll put out a single every single week. So I got his book, and he talks about this. He basically didn't put out music for about 5 months. He recorded enough music to be able to put out a single a week for the next 2 years. And then he just dropped one a week. So maybe the first song gets 200, 300 streams. The next one gets 600. Then the next one gets 1,000. Then the next one gets 3,000. Now the people that are listening to that one, they go back and listen to the other ones. And then over time, a few of them get a few million and all this shit. Then he starts blowing up off of 1 or 2 or 3 songs. And then people like his music. They go and dive in. And he has 10 albums worth of music and material and a bunch of singles. They start listening to all of his songs, and then some of them independently go platinum and gold and all this shit. And then he already had an album because a lot of artists will blow up off of one song, and they got to go rush and make an album. And it takes too long, and their fucking buzz dies down. They put out their album. No one cares. He already had an album in the stash that he recorded before he blew up. So when it came out, he was already super huge doing arenas independently, puts out his album, kills it. A bunch of songs off those albums go platinum, gold, whatever. He starts talking shit. People are like, who's this guy? Because he built such a giant niche fan base that, like, the general hip-hop fan base didn't know who he was, but he had such a huge niche. He did, like, the Staples Center, and he headlined it. He did no openers, all this shit. He was talking shit because he was probably running on a crazy power trip because all this shit actually worked for him, so it made a bunch of people not like him. And then there was a bunch of hate, but it's like he was still fucking making way more money than, like, the average rapper. He was on the Forbes list.
There was like a whole fuck.
He just played the game.
He played the game. He didn't play the game. He understood the game, took advantage of it. He ended up signing a distribution deal with Columbia to get some of his songs on the radio and stuff for like a 50-50 split for like publishing shit, I think. And then he's out of the deal now. Now he owns all of his masters, everything independently, and he's nearly making like $1 million a month off of his masters from streaming and stuff. And he can still go do touring and arenas. Look him up, Russ. You would like some of his stuff. It's not just he's a great rapper, but like he's more melodic and does a lot of singer-songwriter shit.
I've been doing this thing where every week I've been listening to a new hip hop guy. So like, yeah,
look up Russ and look into his interviews and shit.
The other day,
he's the blueprint.
My short-term memory is.
And if you think that Russ is corny in 2021, you're a fucking
I've listened
idiot.
to him a little bit. Yeah, like a bit ago. Dude, I've been listening to this week was Easy Mac.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned.
Yeah. He does the song Chasing Rabbits. He samples Jefferson Starship. That song is killer.
What made you listen to
Yeah,
Easy Mac? 'Cause we
by
haven't
any
mentioned
chance?
him. I don't know where they are. If I do, I probably do, but I don't know.
I think you were talking about him the other day or something.
So I have a song with him.
Yeah, I think you said something about him the other day.
Yeah.
And I was
It
just
was
like,
crazy. Yeah, I have a song with him. But I became a huge fan of him in January, and he's still like down to earth enough to like answer a DM if you're inquiring about some like serious business. So I got that work. But he follows me. He actually likes some of the clips from the podcast and stuff. Oh, that must be why you looked him up because I mentioned that in the group.
He's
so I was like, Easy Mac, if you're watching this, maybe I'll post this as a clip. We want to interview Easy Mac as the first guest on the Mitchell Square podcast. We did a song, bro. I am a huge fan. I am looking forward to the monkey season. We need to get Easy Mac on this bitch. I've already shouted him out twice during this whole episode, so I need to get Easy Mac on here as an interview. We'll set it up. Because he has, like, one interview on YouTube, and it's, like, some dude sitting on a couch, and they're, like, smoking weed. And it's just, like, how the fuck did that guy get the interview? I need the Easy Mac interview. I have a ton of questions, music business-related questions, music questions, streaming questions, all that shit. I need to know the story. I need to know. There's a article on CBC, I think, from, like, 5 years ago, and it's, like, about him. It's not necessarily – I don't even think it really mentions that he's a rapper, but it was, like, on Easter – he like brought like 40 or it was like 30, it was something, and it was a number that was too high for you to do this. He took a bunch of rabbits or bunnies to a park and all walked them. Those were like 30 bunnies or something like that. I think later he said he was on acid when he did that. What is it?
Like on leashes? He walked them?
Yeah, he was walking like 30 bunnies. And like a crowd appeared, and then he was on CBC the next day. And it's not like rapper Easy Mac walks a bunch of bunnies. It's like Mac Barrett walks a bunch of bunnies in the park. It's the weirdest thing ever because I went on a deep dive. I was like, I found this guy. I like his music. His projects were legit. His fucking production quality was fire. He had decent features. His fucking ability was sick. I was like, where's the interviews? Where's the fucking press? And it was like one interview on YouTube with some dude on the couch fucking smoking weed. And it's just impressive that with that little press and all that shit, you could fucking get that much streams and money.
124.
120. Wait, 120. An hour and 24? So 84 minutes?
Yeah, but back to what we were saying, like I literally, like you were mentioning him, I was like, okay, I don't know him. So I literally went on just to Spotify, and his #1 song was like "Chasing Rabbits."
That's an older song too. It was like 5 years old.
Oh, I just clicked on it, and it was like Jefferson Starship, and me being a 80-year-old man listening to music from the 70s all the time, I knew the song, but what he did with the song was like unbelievable.
It's a fire song. That album came out when he was like coming back. Like he was like a battle rapper, and he put up music earlier, like 10, 12 years ago, and then he kind of stopped rapping, and then that album was like his return. He actually did a short film that was like 20 minutes long with different songs off that album, and it kind of like is like it's kind of like gives you like PTSD watching if you ever had a few crazy nights. Like he's like at a party and it's like 6 a.m. and he's like kind of off a few fucking drugs or whatever, and he's like walking out and he's like, it's like daytime, and he's like putting his glasses on, and he's like, whoa, and he fucking goes to a house to get weed, and he comes back to the party, and there's like people wearing fucking it's pretty crazy.
Bro,
but
I haven't been taken by a guy for
what are you gonna say?
Ed.
Yeah, no, we're not talking about that.
Yeah, but I haven't like literally fallen into a hip hop guy in like since Kendrick Lamar. Like Kendrick Lamar was the last guy that I heard one song and I just fell into, and then this guy I just heard the one song and I listened to him for literally.
He has incredible music,
like
bro.
3
He's
days,
really good.
like 3 days straight. Like
Easy Mac, get on this podcast, Easy Mac. We're calling you out right now.
Yeah.
Let's do the interview, Easy Mac. I DM'd him 2 days ago. No answer.
My favorite fucking descriptive word I've ever heard.
That was a bar.
No. Well, yeah, it was, but
Descriptive word I ever heard.
it's funny because it leads into rap. My favorite descriptive word is cummy.
Cummy?
Like that looks cummy.
Who said that?
I heard that Mackie. I heard him say that about some cheese.
That was
like
cummy.
melted in a weird way. He's like, why does that look so cummy, bro?
Oh!
Oh, it's over? The video's over?
The video ended? We're on the logo?
Yeah, I'm just going to charge it.
Okay, cool. So is the logo on the screen right now?
It will be. I don't have the logo queued up, but I'll put it in.
Okay.
Well,
Charge the logo.
So anyway, what I was saying is that word.
Let's charge it right now so we can get the video back up ASAP. Yeah. We're going to get a new camera soon, right, Jay? And we're going to have none of
new
this
camera,
issue.
new like
Not new
a
camera,
dummy
new battery, yeah,
so
yeah.
it works. Yeah, but
Keep going.
yeah, no, Mackie said that word. I don't know, some cheese melted weird one time at work, and he was just like, "Why does that look?" He's like, "Why does that cheese look so cummy?" And I was like, "What, cummy?" And then I fucking listened to Easy Mac after that, and he's like, "I got funny
Oh,
habits." And I'm like,
bouncing on my balls like a bunny rabbit.
I got cummy habits.
But that was your remix in your head?
Yeah.
Nice.
Nah, I said it
Rich
loud,
the
though.
Kid is saying he charges $150,000 for a show. How much do you think he realistically is charging?
Rich the Kid? I don't know what his audience is like, to be honest, because you
Not
know, you know what?
$150K, bro.
Well, that's the thing. You said that. Well, I mean, I understood that until I just thought about it right now, and I was like, you know what? It depends on where his audience is, because you might be able to pull like more money in one place than another. And something that I noticed when we were in, this is a topic that we totally overlooked, the Slime Language mixtape or project, not mixtape. I listened to that and I was like, you know what? Some of this is good. They got the Drake feature on there. And what I realized is like, this is like a niche audience. Yeah. In a way. Like it's probably a mass audience in some sense.
It's a mass audience enough for it to go #1 and sell $140K first week. It's going to be the biggest album in the whole United States next week.
It's a huge album for sure. But it is still content that not everybody can understand. There's definitely a large enough audience for like everybody to.
It's become enough of a fucking sound that people are used to that it's just the norm. There's a song on there with Coi Leray. I've not listened to her much. People say that she's like the female Playboy Cardi, but better. And she's on that song with that Carly
I've
chick,
actually been
who
following
I think
her for
is
a
that
long
Young
time.
Thug's ex-girlfriend, Carly that's on
I
that
don't
album.
know.
But that song's sick.
I've been following Coi Leray for like a long ass time.
She's
for some reason.
Benzino's daughter, isn't she?
I did not know
And
that.
he started The Source, and he's whack as fuck, I think.
I don't know, but I didn't know that. But I don't know why even. But I've been following her for a long time,
Yeah.
and I just kind of like I don't really look at Instagram, but every time I do look at it, she's fucking there, and she's popping up, like blowing up over time.
Yeah.
And I just noticed that Lil Durk started fucking with her.
Lil Durk has a song with her. That's pretty big. It's like
Yeah.
No More Parties or something like that.
Well, like they've been posting shit.
You see Lil
together
Durk?
prior.
People were saying Lil Durk's show got shot up last night, but it was actually sound
Somebody dropped
equipment
a
on it.
microphone.
Yeah. People started running. It makes sense. People were like, fucking Lil Durk show got shot up. Makes sense. Here's another thing. I wrote this down before. Who are some what are some collaborations from artists that we've never gotten yet that you would like to see? Before we get the answer, Jay, we're getting the camera charge backed up?
If I can find the charger, yeah.
Okay.
Where's my camera?
Your camera is up in the room there.
We can just roll off that.
Okay. All right. Just knock on the door before you go up. Privacy. Mitchell Square podcast. We might be getting another camera here.
This is the exciting content that people tune in for right here.
Is there a sleep sesh going on up there, Mitch? Oh, we're lit. Jay, how you do? I think that this is the best episode yet.
It's talkative.
This is the best. No, this is the best episode yet.
I hope so.
No, it is. Mitch, you think this is the best episode yet? I think so. I think we came out the gate and we were ready. It's because we had the beer before we started. But I think we just are generally getting better at this. This is a talent. I think to be able to withhold a conversation for this long, switch up topics, do enough research, and know what you're talking about, and fucking swag that shit out. No, this is the best episode yet. 100. What are the people thinking? If you're at this point in the episode right now, we're getting the new camera set up. We appreciate your patience with us. We are grateful for everybody listening so far. It is some dope shit right now. We're getting that camera set up. But anyway, you should get Jay to set that up so we can continue talking here. Yeah. If we can. But yeah, what are some collaborations from artists that we've never gotten yet that you would like to see? They're doing some shit with chords and stuff and setting it up. All right, Mitch is getting back here. All right, we're good. He's putting on the headphones. He's moving in.
Yeah.
Who would you like to see?
Wait.
It's never collabed yet.
No, somebody that's never collabed yet.
Yeah, that would make sense for there to be a collaboration, but we just have not seen it yet. Drake and Lil Uzi Vert.
Ew.
Now that we need it or I want it,
No.
I'm just surprised that hasn't happened before.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Or
Fine.
Drake.
That's fair.
I was
But
going to say Drake and Playboi Carti, but I forgot they dropped a mid collab.
I was literally thinking about Lil Uzi Vert earlier, just because that list that we talked about, and I don't know if it was last week or the week before, with Chris Brown and Tupac, and I'm surprised that he isn't on that list.
Of your least favorite rapper?
Yeah, 'cause I fucking hate him, because he had to put, what the fuck was the size that Ruby had to put in his head to stay actually relevant, and then I heard him earlier. Man. I'm like, why the fuck is this? This literally sounds like anything that any shit rapper could just poop out. Like, his music is not good. He has good producers that make him sound good, saying the dumbass shit that he says. Like, literally nothing. He doesn't say anything about anything.
Get this camera set up. This is an amazing clip.
He does.
You got this, Jay.
Lil Uzi does not rhyme any better than any rapper on any fucking song that is terrible that I've heard in the last fucking my existence listening to rap.
Yeah.
Like, it's honestly not good. I don't know anything that has been good at all.
You mean lyrically?
Lyrically, yeah. Or at all. Because the thing is, if you take away the beat from Lil Uzi's music, he just says, yeah. Like,
He got some bars sometimes.
No, not really.
He got some
Nothing
occasional
that's
bars.
significant.
He can
If
rap.
you-
You ever hear the song that he did with G Herbo? When G Herbo did the freestyle on the 3-6 Mafia beat and then went like viral for some reason, and everybody started remixing it, and he did the actual official remix on streaming services, and he had Lil Uzi Vert as a feature. Lil Uzi Vert's flow and switch-ups and occasional bars it was dope. He killed it. Lil Uzi Vert can rap when he wants to, and he can make some, like, fucking...
He makes some half-decent
like
open-ended
some
lines.
fucking like atmospheric, kind of like vibey music. But
I just don't think he says anything.
his hype is kind of like NBA YoungBoy's hype, where it's like he is just for some reason really relatable to teenagers, where they're just like he is the fucking GOAT, and that's on God. These guys are having an issue with the camera again.
I don't know how to use this camera.
Jake, talk to me.
It's just like
Talk to me, Jay.
What?
What's going on, buddy?
We're just trying to figure. I don't know how to use the camera, so we're just looks like black to me,
That happens, man.
Yeah.
Jay, what are so since we've done this podcast and everything, you've definitely paid some more attention into the hip hop landscape. What are some artists that you've listened to the past few weeks since we started doing this that you haven't been listening to ever in your whole life?
I listened to Kid Cudi.
Okay.
I listened to Easy Mac.
Okay.
I've been listening to more stuff that I listen to, but I've just been listening to it more.
Yeah.
So I've been listening to more Kendrick Lamar. I've been listening to more Biggie. Stuff
Like
that
stuff.
I like.
Do
I
you
know-
think
I
that the
know,
podcast is kind of broadening your horizons musically and just information wise? Because for myself, knowing that I need to come in here and stay up to date with stuff that's happening to produce quality content, I need to be paying attention to what's going on in music and the world and entertainment. And
I
all this
definitely have
shit.
to pay attention to hip hop a little bit.
Yeah.
We're just not getting a camera feed there. So.
Okay. But
Let's
are
just
you
forget
still
about that.
charging the camera?
I couldn't find the charger. There's a little bit of juice left in it. I turned it off before it's completely dead, so we should be able to get
We can do the hot sauce thing.
Yeah.
Swag. Yeah. Okay. That's cool, man.
It's just unfortunate,
That's fine, bro. That's fine. We're gonna get the new
At the very
battery
least,
soon.
we can record that video, but can't we? Yeah, so we'll still have video for the hot sauce,
Okay.
no matter what. There's no camera card in here. We'll take it out of my camera.
Anyway, another thing while these guys are figuring this out, if you're a content creator, artist, whatever, I suggest downloading this it's like a Google Chrome extension. It's called TubeBuddy. I got it this week. I haven't really experimented with it too much, but it's called TubeBuddy. I'm sure I have a referral link that I could probably give to people, but I just haven't looked too much into it just yet. But this other creator, Dorian Group 82, you guys should definitely check him out. He makes really good videos about just, music business and, navigating through the YouTube creator space and all this stuff if you're interested in kind of doing something similar to what we're doing and that stuff right now. But he suggested this thing. It's called TubeBuddy, and basically with TubeBuddy, you can look at the keywords that you download it, and it actually gets affiliated with your YouTube channel if you have a YouTube channel, and you're able to see, it basically shows up next to any video that you watch on YouTube, and it shows all the keywords that were used by the person that uploaded that video, and it shows the keywords that you use and where they rank amongst other videos that use that same keyword. And it also gives you different analytics, whether a thumbnail with your face in it or a thumbnail with no faces in it, which one performs better. It just gives you really interesting analytics that could make you improve your reach when you put out videos on YouTube. So TubeBuddy is a good platform not platform, but a cool app to check out. So Google that if you release videos on YouTube and everything. What's up, brother?
I may be pulling back to it. Well, I definitely
pull it
am
back,
to
bro.
the
Pull
previous
that shit
topic.
back.
But did you listen to Slime Language too?
Yeah, I did. I listened to most of that album.
So, what
There's a
did
lot
you
of
think
songs
about
on
that?
it. I actually think it was better than what I was expecting. I thought it was pretty
Really?
dope. Yeah. I like that song with Nav and Lil
I would
Duke.
actually say it's really good for what I would expect.
Production is really good. A lot of the bars are really good, man. If you really listen to what these guys are saying, regardless of their flow and the
I listened
beats
to
and
it
the
a couple
and the and the
times. It wasn't even
topics,
about that. I
some
just
some
find
good
that,
shit is on there.
There's definitely. This is the thing I find with I hate saying it because I love Lil Durk. You know what I mean? So he's one of those guys where a lot of what he's saying is just not, I don't want to say generic, but it's it's I don't know, in simplified terms, it's kind of filler. Like it's not really like, it's typical things that you would expect to hear. Same with G Polo or Polo G.
Polo G. G Polo. Polo G's been dope, man.
Same with Polo G, but like it's things that you would expect to hear on a rap album, just said in a way that you like it.
Yeah.
Sure, like that's creative in a sense. You know what I mean? Saying something that everybody's heard in a way that it's different. Sure, that's fine. But you're not really saying anything. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? In terms of like actual content. I found this album was full of that. I did like the Drake song.
That's gonna happen.
It's not. It shouldn't happen.
That's where we're at.
For the
Mainstream hip hop wise,
for
bro.
the amount of respect that Young Thug has.
I'ma shoot you. Got
that he
bitches.
has.
Got money.
I listened
doing
to
drugs.
I listened to 10.
Cool flows. Nice melodies.
Yeah,
nice
sure,
beats.
but I listened to 1017 Thug earlier.
Yeah.
That's a
How
fucking
different lyrically is that from slam language?
Not, but at least it felt original. Like it felt like its own thing.
Well, slam
Everything's-
language too is
everything
kind of like a
feels like it's-
collaboration of all of like the trendy street artists.
Yeah, and
that are
honestly,
mainstream
if
in the
their
industry.
voices weren't different, I wouldn't be able to tell them apart because they're all saying the same bullshit.
Nav has a dope verse on a song on that. He has this line. It's about like what is it? It's like the Molly is why your jaw's moving and I'm fucking. I don't. The Nav whatever
I
song
have
has
a
the
Nav
Nav verse
album.
on it is pretty dope.
I have a Nav album on my phone that I always regret saving when I listen to it, except for like one or two songs. One of them is like
Nav can go in when he wants.
Mama, Mama.
I know that song. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I fuck with that song because this is the thing that I hate. Want to know why I hate? Like if somebody's maximum capability was what they were putting out, I wouldn't be mad at it.
Yeah. You think
know what I
they're
mean?
capable of doing more, but they kind of.
I know that they're capable of doing more because they've seen everything that we've seen in the last fucking 10 years. You know what I mean? We're 23.
Yeah.
Are you 24? No, you're not 24 yet, but we're 23. So I know that I started getting onto hip hop when I was 14.
Mm-hmm.
And that was through you. So you were 12, 13. At least.
Mm-hmm.
I actually just
We've seen, bro. we gotta say, man. When people say that the '90s are the golden era, what about the era of the Kendrick, the Absol, the fucking
I know what I'm saying.
Chance the Rapper, Danny Brown,
all
Big
these people
Crit.
grew through the same times, and some of them are older than
That's
us.
a hard era, bro.
You know what I mean? Like
amazing
this is
music was
legit
made
rap.
during that
There's
time.
legit rap made in that time period.
There was definitely
all of
better
these people
music, but just
are
less influential people.
But sure, but all of these people that are making this garbage shit nowadays lived through the same time period as us, witnessed all the real rap music that came out at that time, and somehow came to the conclusion that they're going to make what they're making right now. Like, how does that happen?
I think it
has to be what we were
style.
talking about earlier. No, I think it's about money.
Yeah, it's like fucking. It's Ben Askren.
It's Ben
bro.
Askren.
Hip hop is Ben Askren, bro.
Fuck hip hop. What's next?
You know that NBA YoungBoy is expecting his 8th child as he's behind bars right now and is 21 years old?
That's terrible.
8 kids at 21.
Listen to
8
this
kids
though.
at
So
21,
all right,
and
I just
he's
need
probably
need to
like
confirm
7
this
baby
moving
mamas.
forward. This is the best episode ever. We've done 4 episodes, so it doesn't really have much
The
competition.
bar is really high.
Yeah, but are we getting a camera back at any point?
We have one going
We're
right now.
filming right now.
We are filming right now.
Yeah, we're filming right now.
So all these times I've been picking my nose and fucking playing my
Absolutely.
penis, it's been recorded.
Yeah,
You're-
the
Is
time
it a
you-
part of the actual video? Or you're gonna have to do some post production after
I'm
this.
gonna do some post production, but it's
But your
fine. We'll
penis
still have it
is-
out tomorrow.
Your
Yeah,
penis is out of frame.
We're
I'll
still
just
putting
do-
this out
I'll
tomorrow.
just- yeah, I'll
Every
just do it
Sunday
tomorrow
we're doing
morning,
this,
yeah.
and it's coming out on Mondays. We gotta produce more clips once a day. Can we do once a day? Can you produce a thumbnail once a day?
Well, what I was thinking actually.
Can
is
you export once a day, Jay?
I think I
I
can
can make a
export one
title,
today.
and I
It's-
can write a description, and I can do the keywords, and I can share it everywhere once a
To
day.
do something once a day, but what I was thinking, I kind of knew.
20 minutes.
You know what the funny thing is before we started this, like most of these topics, if we have these topics ahead of time, I can
You want me to bust them out ahead of time? I can send them to you.
ahead of time, like just
I'll
a
send you
rough,
this email.
like a well, I know now, but like a rough description ahead of time of what we might be talking about because it's not always going to be obvious. But I knew what we were going to be talking about. And
Listen
I thought
to this
this morning, I was
exclusive
like,
behind the scenes features.
I was thinking this morning about busting out fucking
Couple clips.
just the
Because I'm gonna
picture-
get
just the
better at the
pictures for me.
keywords and the marketing and stuff, so some of these clips could take off, and then they could relay audience people.
But I was just thinking
People
about this
back
morning,
to-
busting out the thumbnails, because I was like, I know we're talking about Jake Paul. I know we're going to talk about Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I knew that certain things were coming, and I was like, I could just do this right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I have very defined moments of freedom with having kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you could wake up as long as you're not working. You got all the time of the day to do whatever it is that you need to do in front of you. I don't really have that. But I was like, I know that I could do this, this, and this, but I'm not sure about what's going to happen. So if we can predefine what we're going to talk about, I can have those thumbnails banged out ahead of time. And then at least some of them, or even if I do like 10 of them and we don't even talk about 4 of those topics, at least we have them, and then you have them to, you know what I mean, roll forward with them.
Yeah.
Well, let's get people more involved about what we talk about.
What do we want to hear us talk about? Let us know in the comments.
You know what I was thinking about, actually, since like after the first episode?
Yo.
We're like the best podcast about absolutely nothing at all.
I think we cover a bunch of fucking shit, bro. We're not the Seinfeld of
But
podcasts.
but I'm saying we're about nothing.
Hey, there are worse
at
things
all.
than
Like
being
specifically. We're not. We explore different communities.
We're the best podcast about nothing in particular.
I think that we are definitely
Everything but
going to
nothing.
be the best podcast, at least in the East Coast of Canada. But I'm not even aiming for a geographic success. I want to fuck it. We're in Nova Scotia, but we're going worldwide, baby.
Globe or bust.
We're global. Young Dolph is running a contest for fans to win $10,000 if they can accurately determine how many times the word I and yeah was said on his most recent project that he did with Key Glock that came out about a month ago. Do you think his team sat down and they designated somebody to 100% get that correct number written down before they announced this? And how do you think the process works behind coming up with such a strange marketing tactic? And do you think it increases his streams that much?
Maybe slightly it increases in streams.
Yeah.
But the thing, because if there's this is the thing. If there's a what's the contest for?
$10,000.
Okay.
Not really a contest. It's just whoever first has a response that matches up with. He probably wants to let it run for a bit so people are listening to the music and streaming it enough to try to like dissect.
Okay.
You know how many times did he say yeah and I in this song?
You know what? That's actually smart.
That's fucking smart as fuck. He's done it a few other times too.
Because initially there you said estimation.
No, it's the exact number.
Yeah. So you're gonna listen to that album through and through and through and through and through until you actually know.
Yeah, you're gonna listen to a bunch, bro. And then
When
you're
you
probably
said-
gonna end
when
up
you said
liking a bunch of
estimation, I was
those
like, that's kinda
songs, and then you're
dumb,
gonna listen to them more often because
but-
you just got so used to listening to them, trying to find how many times he said I and yeah in every song, getting the information to try to write it down and try to
Because
win
even if you have
$10,000.
them all, you're still gonna listen to it 2 or 3.
He's
more
getting that
times.
stream of money from people he probably is making more money than the $10,000 he's giving out by throwing that contest out. Because people are like, oh, fuck, I'm getting on this right now and listen to this album a bunch this week to figure that out, get that number. And in the process of doing that, they're going to become fans of certain songs, and they're going to probably just listen to them moving forward, which is going to make him more money.
That actually kind of reminds me of something I heard earlier this week, I think on Philip DeFranco's show, about this guy.
Shout out Philip DeFranco. I've been watching his videos every single day since we did this podcast.
I've been watching his videos every single day for like years, man, for a long time. But like he was talking about this streamer on Twitch who did subathon, and I was thinking
I saw that, bro. It was like 30 days straight.
Yeah, so he was 30
paying
days
his
straight.
employees, the people that were helping him out, like $5,000 a day. He made like 800 grand or something like that.
And
that's a
but
high
the
amount.
thing about that is you make that amount of money, right, off that stream. That's not the end of it. Now you have, because he did a subathon.
Yeah.
He did a subathon, right? So it's, I don't know what the amount was. You can just look that up, fucking subathon, real quick while I'm like talking about this. But he did this thing where basically it's like I'm
What do you
gonna
want me to look up? I don't
just
understand.
recent subathon. I don't know.
What's that? So basically,
Twitch subathon.
it's like I'm
But
gonna stream
it's like
nonstop.
I'm gonna stream nonstop until I reach this amount.
Bro,
of
that
subs.
is so easy. You press a button and then just don't leave. He has to clean himself
So
and
6
eat
days ago,
and
it's
shower.
slightly related. So whoever this was, he said I'm gonna get X amount of subscribers before I finish this live stream.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, whatever that is, that's 2 million people, and you can count on 10% of that audience. And we're talking about numbers on streams. Let's say Twitch or whatever other platform is paying out $0.01 per stream.
Yeah.
So you get 2 million subscribers. and you're getting 10% of that audience giving you a stream every day. You know what I'm saying? That's money.
Big money, and they're going to follow you moving forward. You gave them so much content that those people are going to be invested in you as a person. They're going to be interested in what you do moving forward.
We should just eat hot chicken wings for as many hours as it takes for us to.
I'm excited, bro. That is coming up. That is coming up. I think we should do a subathon. If we can commit to doing a subathon and we know that it's going to get us results that can make us a decent amount of money, have enough fucking fans, they're going to follow us moving forward because we gave them so much content, I will do that subathon with you. You could probably do that on YouTube. Eventually, I'd like to get to the point when we do this podcast, we can set it up to be live streamed on YouTube. So when we're done, it's already out publicly.
We could do that. We could do that right now if we wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just about to say we could do a subathon over a weekend, like because I work Sundays and I'm off Monday, Tuesday. I could do a subathon.
Like a 24-hour one or something.
That'd be like a 40. Like that'd be like a 48 plus 12.
Your kids can hang out and stuff.
I mean, if we made enough money.
We could just have a rotating.
So people just. So how does it work? So people
like
just donate money to support us staying on stream for a long period of time.
Yeah. And this guy made like $800,000 off.
It's a great way to take advantage of 24, 48.
And then on top of that, you have that audience that you're going to make residual income off of.
Yeah.
That's straight playing the game.
Let us know if you guys want us to do a subathon because we can do it. I will commit to it.
I'll do a subathon. We'll have to bring my kids over here for like 2 days, but like fuck it, let's do a subathon, man.
I would do a subathon for like $2,000.
Eating hot wings and drinking beer because I think that'd be hilarious. Because we'd probably puke a few times.
We get canceled a few times throughout the process, but it's too much. It'd be too long for anyone to actually like look too deep into it. So we would do
forever,
well.
Bro. I don't care. I'm here forever.
Internet is forever. Did you know that Juicy J used to fine 3 6 Mafia members for putting drugs over business? Essentially, if they were partying and it got in the way of doing an event or handling some sort of business, they would find a way to. Juicy J would be the head honcho that would be like, you know what, I'm partying and I do drugs occasionally when it's the right time. But if you're doing that to fuck up the business, we're going to find a way to fine you. I don't know if that was like a legal fine or he'd be like, you got to pay us this money because you fucked up to stay associated with us.
That makes sense.
I'm not surprised by that.
No, that makes sense.
Juicy J probably had a great balance over the years. He's about 30 years deep in the fucking rap game.
Even if you're running the shit and you're addicted to drugs and you're doing stupid shit, it's like if you're a detriment to the
feel like
business.
Juicy J never was addicted to drugs. He probably had some lean issues and stuff, but he probably had a fantastic
Jay,
balance.
did you find that pen? No?
But yeah, he
probably under the couch till next week.
that's a fucking
but yeah,
noble
no, like
move.
Well,
You could listen, man. If you could be
even
super
if
productive and have a big output, and you were making your money, you're handling your shit, and when you want to fucking let loose and celebrate your success, and you could do that without waking up the next day and being addicted to drugs, you fucking keep moving and keep hustling.
I don't think.
Then
you
I don't
necessarily
fucking
not
judge
be
you at
addicted
all.
To drugs, man. It's just like there's people that can be addicted to drugs and also move forward as long as it's more profitable than their addiction to drugs. But that's also how you lead yourself into insanity. Like there's lots of people that have become very famous and made lots of money, like David Bowie. You know what I mean? He look up.
I don't really know.
Look up videos of him. He's so coked out, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. I seen some
but his coke
interviews
addiction,
back in the day.
His coke addiction led to him making more money.
Probably gave him the energy to make more better
addiction.
music that fucking made a bunch of money. And,
like
he when you're in that process,
spend
you
more
still
money
get
on
sober.
Coke. I shouldn't say it led to his success, but it led. He made more money than he could spend on coke. So it kept him in this forward, like self-perpetual, fucking destructive, trajectory until whatever. Yeah, you know what I mean. So you can do that. It's rare, but you can do that.
I think we're almost 2 hours in here. I think
when Jay's coming back right now, I gotta pee too.
It's almost time for the wings.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
It's almost time for the wings and the real reaction. So we are definitely getting video right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna pee.
So wait, are you gonna have to match up the camera with the audio?
For this part, yes.
Yeah, for the last little bit. Since my camera died, yes.
That might be a little bit of a pain in the ass, you think?
Well, as of now, it's just one video.
It's just pretty easy.
I'll whatever. I have nothing to do tomorrow. Yeah, I have nothing going on.
We got this. We still gonna put this out tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I'm a bored guy, you know.
It's worth it, bro.
Oh, I know.
This is the best episode.
I love doing this. This is fun. Let's keep doing this.
You're in the investing game.
I
Right?
am in the investing game.
What is your portfolio looking like right now?
I honestly don't have a whole lot in, but
That's fine, bro. I'm not judging.
I was out with my friend yesterday, and he put some money into Dogecoin yesterday. He put $30 in Dogecoin, and he was watching it all day.
What is he using?
He's using Crypto.com.
So I was
And-
reading reviews, and apparently it's really difficult to get your money out of there once you make some kind of profit as a Canadian. That's what made me hesitate, because I
Well-
want to put money into Dogecoin.
Well,
Even though it's at a super high right now,
well,
it could maybe go up higher because it
Well-
seems like there's more of a use for it.
Well, when it comes to cryptos, like really, they're as valuable as there is interest.
Mm-hmm.
So the more people that know about a crypto, the more valuable it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Bitcoin is worth what it's worth.
It's
So
becoming more popular.
yeah, and
Dogecoin
you got
entered
people
the
like
top
Elon
5
Musk
with market.
right.
It has the
So-
top. It's in the top 5 of the market value now compared to any other cryptocurrency.
Yes.
It's like it topped like
Yeah.
50
It
billion.
it grew 638% in like one day.
I think it was like 6,000.
Was
Wasn't
it 6,000? Yeah, it may have been.
Basically, if you put
Like, yeah.
$1,000 into Dogecoin in July of last year, it would have rallied up to 89. That $1,000 would be worth $89,000.
Yeah, well,
run.
a dude put like $100,000 into it not even that long ago, and he's a millionaire now.
Oh, easily.
But
100%.
like I was
As
I
the
was literally
fifth
reading his
largest
post on Reddit
Yeah.
yesterday. But we were out yesterday, and he said he threw $30 into it, and we're going around, and I picked up my tips for the day before, and I had some money in my wallet, and I was like, you know what? Let's go to the bank. I'm gonna put this in, and I'm gonna throw all this into Dogecoin.
Yeah.
So I threw $105 into Dogecoin last night. So I was like, Crypto.com is what I'm using.
All right, I'm gonna download Crypto.com. Right
That's
now.
what I'm using.
I'm
You need
trying
an
to use
ID. So you
Coinbase.
need an ID to like sign up your account. And I already got. Let's see how. I threw $105 in, and let me check this live.
But apparently,
right now.
I was looking at some reviews, and I feel like a lot of people review these apps when they lose money and shit. But people were like super pissed that they had an issue like withdrawing money as a Canadian. I don't know. Maybe there definitely is a way to do it if you can invest.
there.
As a
So
Canadian,
I'm
you can
up
download it on
$20 right now in Dogecoin from last night.
I was
for
up a
putting
bit
in
in
105.
I was up a bit in Ether
So.
this week. Like I was like,
Well,
nah.
I tried to get it. I actually had to dump all my fucking. So I have all my bills automatically pulling out of my account except for my internet.
Okay.
I haven't thought about that in a long fucking time because I used to work for a place that was past where I had to pay for my internet.
Yeah.
So when I was like, I gotta pay my internet bill, I would go and do it. And
Yeah.
then COVID happened, and I stopped paying my internet bill.
All right, so
And
use the Crypto.com app.
I use Crypto.com.
I'm gonna get in
yeah.
this Dogecoin, baby. I know
Me
it's
too,
at a
because
high
I
right
tried
now,
to
but
do it.
I'm sure it
But
will
I
go
think it's
higher
going to keep
eventually.
going because you got people like Elon Musk talking about it, and he just started taking Bitcoin. So, like, if ever comes a point where he's like, yeah,
Hey,
we're going to take Dogecoin.
I think
it's just gonna-
PayPal accepts Dogecoin now. There's a Slim
I-
Jim has something coming out with Dogecoin,
See.
and there's this other thing.
Again, the more
Dogecoin
people that know
basically-
about it, the more it's going to be
It's
worth.
it started as a joke
I had to
because a
dump
guy
all my Ethereum to pay my internet bill.
I sold Ethereum to pay for studio time, but I'm up in Ethereum though. I am
I
up in
have
Ethereum, and
nothing
I
in
like
it.
to get more Ether. But with Simple Crypto, you can actually use the crypto that you buy
Yeah.
to actually buy
That's why I
anything with
wasn't
the
mad at
crypto. You're
selling
just
it.
holding
I
it
was
to
like-
make profit, which I'm fine
Yeah.
with. I'm not really trying to buy anything with crypto, but I would like to expand the crypto that I can buy. I think there is kind of an issue with Crypto.com when it comes to if you actually make a profit and sell to withdraw, but I'm sure it could be worked around. But
Well, that
I'm
might
gonna-
be
I'm gonna get
that
into
might
this after
be
this.
also an issue that was worked through. I know. I have a friend's dad he's
yeah, I'm sure
like,
there's a way around.
he knows what he's doing and he uses it as well.
And
So
has he taken money out and made money?
I'm sure he has. He's been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But,
He does a lot of research before he does anything.
But the thing is,
so.
it started out as a meme because a guy in 2013 tweeted he was like putting up my money in Dogecoin. It wasn't a real thing, and for some reason, it just got a bunch of retweets and favorites and all this shit. And then there was a designer, or there's someone that was like, "I will produce this as a real coin," and they made the fucking the coin,
yeah.
whatever. And I think it appeals to a lot of people because it's like it doesn't have like a real like serious agenda associated with it, and it feels like comfortable to use.
It's just
They,
whatever
like,
it is.
The people that
yeah.
like use Dogecoin, like they funded like the Jamaican bobsled team to like go to the Olympics years ago and stuff with Dogecoin and all this stuff, and they do like charitable shit. It's funny, but yeah, it went from like 4 cents or 5 cents to like 40 cents, I think.
I think it's still under a cent.
No,
It's interesting.
I bought 300.
No.
It was at 33 cents.
Is it 33 cents?
yesterday.
Okay, yeah.
35 or 40.
Yes, that makes because I bought 300 for $105.
You can get it on
It'd be around
Robinhood
30,
in the States. Like Wealth Simple as like the Robinhood of Canada needs to pick it up and expand the crypto that you can buy on their crypto platform.
Well, they purely have it so you can invest in crypto. You don't buy crypto through them. You invest in crypto.
Yeah. You have to have the crypto.com probably like sets you up with like an actual like
it gives you a crypto wallet,
right?
yeah,
that you could actually use to like
buy,
buy like
yeah, like I have
like
Dogecoin that I can I own
spend
300
Dogecoin
Dogecoin that I can spend.
stuff that would accept Dogecoin.
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah, I would like to get some shit like that. I kind of really want because Ether is expensive to own a whole one, and fucking obviously Bitcoin's like fucking 75 grand Canadian to own one Bitcoin. But yeah, I would like to. You know what? I'm sure there's a way to withdraw money if you do make a decent profit. I'd like to see that. There's this guy I follow, Punch. He's like a hip hop commentator on Instagram and YouTube and stuff, and he said he put $1,000 into big Dogecoin a few months ago. And then he made like 20 grand the other day. So I'd like to get into like a crypto that's like super cheap and then go to the moon with it.
Last week, I was like, I want to put $100 in the Dogecoin because I seen people talking about it online. And I was like, hey, I want to put $100 in the Dogecoin. Like this was like maybe 2 weeks ago. It was before we started doing this so like 4 weeks ago. And I just seen people, and I was like, hey, I want to do that, but well, simply couldn't. And then I didn't have an app to do it, so I was like, whatever.
So you
and then I seen it skyrocketed up, then I was like, that's when I was like, I want to get into crypto.
Well, remember months ago, I was telling you to get into My Medicine, or like almost a year ago.
Everyone invest in My Med, bro. I'm $2,000 in.
I was telling you to get into it, and I was like, I just bought a bunch of shares, and this at 40 cents a piece.
Yeah.
And now it's at $3, and that's at a low point. It was at almost $6 at one point.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you had dropped $1,000 on that when it was at 40
My Med's
cents,
gonna go to
like
15 or 20 at least someday because My Med is
it's gonna go higher than that, man. Once the shroom
hold it for a year or 2 years, bro. I got 580 shares right now. I'm trying to get 1,000.
Yeah, I got 160.
My Med's gonna give me that bang,
I want to
baby.
get 200, and then I'm cool on that. That's my thing. I want to hold like all my. I don't know why. Probably just for my own mental sake, but I want to have like increments of 100 in all my stocks.
Yeah, I want. Well, yeah, I want to get crazy on the My Med.
So I can easily calculate my profits in my own head.
It's a big play.
You can just add a couple.
So we
zeros.
got the camera on right now.
Yeah.
How deep are we in the shows tonight right now?
Oh, you know how deep we are?
How?
Take a guess how deep we are.
204.
Close. We're at 201.
Oh wow.
What? 2 hours and one.
We're over 2 hours. First
This
episode
is
over
the
2 hours.
longest
Yeah, this is the
pod,
longest pod.
Long pod, just like my nuts.
I didn't even think that we were. Wow. Okay, we broke the record. Okay,
All right, let's eat these hot
and we
ones.
are filming, right? So.
Yes, and we're filming it.
All right, guys, we have hit the point where we are about to dip in to the fucking Mad Dog 357 hot wings, baby. All right,
I'm scared. Wait, we gotta eat our first wing dipped in 3rd degree.
Lindsay, if you are awake and can hear us, come on down for the party. Let's see.
I'll go knock. What time is it? Oh, it's only 12:05?
Yeah.
Damn.
We're going in.
All right. We're killing it right now.
All right, so we're about to try some of the Mad Dog 357,000 Scoville units. I did try it on Thursday. I dipped my wings in it about 5 different times. I woke up in the middle of the night, had to hit the bathroom. It's the second last hot sauce they use on Hot Ones the first few seasons. So it is very hot. What are you saying?
I was just saying she could take shots while we're eating the wings.
Sure, yeah. If she's awake. Let's go. Let's go, Lindsay in the building. We got the wings. All right.
All right.
We got these strange wings from Bit and Moon. They're going to be a little bit cold.
They're the nubs.
Is that Jay's camera?
Yeah, she's gonna take a couple shots. So
All right.
let's do these.
357,000 Scoville units. There is an alternate bottle that you can get that's 2 million. We're not into that though. I can bring the laptop down. We don't need this anymore. We actually did cover all the topics tonight, so shout out to us. We really
eat the lightly
killed
hot.
it. Okay. So we're starting off with the hot sauce that you brought from the Bit and Moon. So what is this sauce called that you got?
It's E.D. Smith, 3rd degree.
Okay. So
And
at the
I would
Mint Moon
consider
where you work is a restaurant, pub in Glace Bay.
This is their hot sauce.
This is the
Unless
hottest
somebody
one.
asks for the hottest sauce we have,
Yeah.
we have like
This is the
10
hottest?
different kinds of hot sauce on standby that I mix
I
together.
feel like this is not safe.
Just drop that down. Yeah.
So we have like a bunch of different hot sauces that I'll mix together. If somebody asks for the hottest sauce, I'll just make this concoction of like death. But
You're
This
trying
is- this
to,
is
right?
our
You wanna
hot
fill
sauce.
this up with milk from my fridge?
Yeah, I can fill that up with milk.
Can you do that? Yeah. Because we're gonna need it. All right. So this is the hottest sauce at the restaurant you work at right now,
and it's pretty hot. Like
and it's I had a taste. Compare it to this.
it's uncomfortable for me.
Because that's more flavorful than this.
That's my beef with a lot of hot sauce.
It's more of like a masculinity challenge.
I don't like hot sauce where there's no flavor.
Yeah. There's some
You know what I
flavor
mean?
in it. I think there was Christ Sampson. He commented on my post of the bottle, and he said, "I have this in my fridge. Tried it. All pain, no flavor.
Yeah, I don't fuck.
There's a little bit of flavor in this. A little bit of flavor. You know what's crazy, bro? That amount of milk most likely won't be enough. Here it is. This is Mad Dog. Whoa!
That's all right.
I don't know how that even gets fixed.
I'll fix that.
That's good, man.
That's a mystery.
Give me one on third degree so I have a starter.
You want a starter?
Yeah, one starter.
Warm up, buddy. Episode 4, baby. Episode 4. So we.
You gotta be in the video for this.
You want me in the video for this?
If you're gonna eat the fucking 363, whatever the fuck it is.
This is Jay.
Damn, my verification was complete for crypto.com already.
I gotta sign up for crypto.com at the end of this.
All right.
That verifies in the money transfer. Like I signed up and everything last night, and it was like instant.
Sweet.
Cool.
We're getting on that Dogecoin rocket ship.
So,
Who's ready?
I
damn.
am.
See, that's like
Did you
enough
do it?
heat.
I did it.
We got 3 for the each of for both all of us.
I'm not looking forward to this. I'm a little nervous.
All right, guys. Mad Dog 357. Best episode yet.
I'm scared. A little bit.
Yeah, I'm a little
I'm
worried.
almost only scared, really, because I have asthma, and I'm like, I'm gonna choke so bad
I
on
do
this, I'm
too,
gonna
though.
die. All right, at least we're
We're
both
in it
gonna
together,
die.
like we're going down. We can
This
use
shit
we
ain't
can
no
share
joke.
an inhaler.
This shit ain't no joke. Lindsay knows. She's taking pictures right now. She knows it's no joke.
Can I steal like a little sip of your milk
Have a sip.
before I hit that?
Are you kind of spicy right now?
Uh-huh.
Let's have a little sip of milk to just get in the zone.
Clear the palate.
Get in the game.
Yeah.
Get in the zone.
God damn it.
Who's ready? All right. Gentlemen, do a dab. Let's cheers, and then we'll do it.
What are we doing, a dab?
Do a dab.
That?
Yep. Get her a good dab. All right, guys. Let's go. Stay on the camera as we do this. Ready? 3, 2.
Okay. That's tasty. That's smoky. I like that.
Do you?
Well, so far.
I know what this is.
Here it comes.
Stop.
Here you go. Hit that record.
good.
You can go back up there for a second.
You got it.
Is it on?
No?
It's not on.
Okay. Oh. I'm getting a little hiccupy.
You know, is it back on?
Oh.
Ah!
I just can't stop hiccuping.
Ow.
Fuck!
This isn't as bad as the death chip, though. It just hurts.
Huh?
Oh, no.
All right.
I got it in the back of my nose.
Fuck. It's so bad, bro.
This hurts. Like, I wasn't expecting actual pain.
It's bad, boys. It's fucking bad.
Save some of that. I need some of that. I'm crying.
I need to get my beer.
Will that help?
I hope so.
Oh my god.
Answer's no.
When's you guys bread?
Bread.
Eat it. Man, that's bad. This is the worst yet.
No. I make it. There's nothing.
Fuck.
I feel
Swing
like
is so good though.
really every part of my face is leaking.
I'm hungry.
I'm sad.
You're sad? You crying? He's actually crying. He's tearing up right now.
This sucks.
Get a picture. Do it for the internet.
I think it's dead.
The camera's dead? Is that camera dead? That we're filming on right now? No.
Oh my god.
I'm like sweating like I'm working it.
Oh, it's subsiding.
Yeah, it's getting better.
Is it?
It still sucks, but
I have a swig, brother. Tonight we became brothers.
we drank milk together.
Oh my god.
I found out. I realized.
What is it?
Nah.
You want it in the hot sauce? What? Here. No, it's bad, bro.
I feel like I have a little cuts on my tongue.
Ugh.
Fun fact.
Can you get more milk?
More of the milk.
Did you know that?
Go.
Did you know that your tongue reacting to capsaicin is like the same reaction as your skin reacting to a sunburn?
I'm gonna die.
Really?
It is, yeah.
Fuck. We need to get the #1 hot sauce from Hot Ones.
No, we don't. This is bad enough.
How do people keep going? How do people do this and they're like, yeah, I
I can kind of understand it because it's a pain thing. It's like a pain tolerance thing.
I feel like you have less mental strength when you're kind of drunk.
Before I could even feel the spot.
The bread does
Spice?
nothing, bro. The bread does absolutely nothing at all.
Made it worse.
Yeah.
I'll get milk in the next fucking 20
I
seconds.
found before I could even like.
Rosie had
I'm
some.
good.
She dipped some bread in the hot sauce. I heard her coughing in the kitchen. How do you cough?
It might have been Jay.
Could have been me. I've been coughing, hiccuping, everything.
All right, now I feel like 3rd degree burn.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, give me a little bit of
It
that.
gets to the point where you're like, yeah, this is fine, I'm okay, and then you're like, no.
That's actually not okay. Well, on that note, this was the best episode ever, and what a great ending.
My fucking mustache hurts.
Your milk mustache burns.
Yeah. Goddamn.
Reviews, everybody. Thank you so much, Lindsay, for bringing us milk and making
God.
sure we didn't die. But it's kind of dying out right now. Wow, he's actually dipping it in the hot sauce.
It's back. Oh, it's back.
I just puked. Go on in, Jay.
I wanted to do that the whole episode.
It was gone.
Why did I do that? Ow.
It was gone and it was fine. Then I took a big breath in. Then it came all back.
I want to eat some more of these wings, but I see some sauce on it. I don't know what sauce is the Bit Moon sauce and the Mad Dog. Look how
Dude,
much left
you
is
don't-
in this.
You don't want to try. Dip your finger in that Bit Moon sauce. It reignites the flame.
Yeah. You dipped in there. I was like,
I was
I'm
like,
not
oh,
with
I was
that.
like, this might be milder.
No, it fucking ruined you.
Yeah, it sucked. It reignited. Fuck. I was like out of the woods, man, and now I'm back in there.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry that happened.
That's my own fault.
Every time something touches my tongue, it gets worse.
Nobody starts sucking each other's dick.
Yeah, Jay, get that penis off your tongue. All right, guys.
I'd be super gay right now.
We covered all the topics I had written down. I think it's gonna be difficult for us to have a conversation moving forward. My tongue is on fire.
And you know what the funny? I remember when we first talked about this. I thought it would be funny to start the podcast with that outside.
I thought it would be a great idea to do it at the beginning.
We would have not had the longest episode we've done yet. We would have had the shortest one.
Can't wait till.
How you doing, Lindsay? You fine? Yeah, she's prone to this. This is weird.
She's way better than all of us. She's like not even breaking a sweat.
Yeah. Tonight she grew a penis and we grew vaginas.
It just hurts to breathe.
And I'm canceled. Women are stronger than men.
Dude, yeah.
100%.
Sure.
They give
They gotta
birth.
push, like,
We
babies
give
out of
fucking
their vaginas.
poops.
I've seen it happen.
All right, guys. How are we ending this episode off? We did a great episode tonight. I'm very proud of you both. I'm proud of you, Lindsay. Let us know your thoughts on this episode. What topic was your favorite? What topic should we cover in the future? We're going to burp and cry and poop and pee.
This was awful.
Oh, it was a bad. I'm glad we got the reaction, though, with all three of us, man. This is quality content. We got to do it for the entertainment.
Start smoking cigarettes again.
We should start smoking cigarettes as of right now.
On that note, Arizona green iced tea tastes like, with like the alcoholic version, tastes like Arizona green iced tea with a cigarette dropped in it.
Arizona has an alcoholic version? I guess we'll touch on
Yeah,
that
it's
next
new.
episode.
I was just about to ask for a taste of it.
I want
the
a
drops
taste
at
of
the
it.
bottom? No. Since you said what you did? No.
No,
All right,
it's
guys.
awful.
This has been episode 4. Are we filming right now still? Yeah. Very impressed.
Upstreet, try to filter all the yeast out of your beer. That was gross.
Taylor Swift, get your masters back, girl.